This one is for my true love, the Reshoot podcast. Reshoot, you're so cool. And with my guest spot, we're gonna rule. Please understand. Kidnapping Ed was all part of my plan. Oh, reshoot, 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 reshoot. I love you. Oh,
Wait,
reshoot,
hold on.
reshoot.
What was that part about kidnapping Ed?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reshoot, an amateur's guide to good or film, where we fix movies that we like, dislike, or somewhere in between, and we just make them objectively better.
Objectively.
Do you want to introduce yourself? Not Ed.
No, I'm Ed. I'm here. I'm
You sound the exact same.
Yeah, I'm just sort of low energy, and I'm gonna sound aggrieved at Hector a lot. I guess I hate being here or something. It's unclear. No, I'm not Ed. It's me, Matt Shore. I was here once before for a painfully long Star Wars episode, but I promise I will not talk much this time. I'm happy to be back for this very special episode.
I don't know. Maybe we need to have an episode where just Shore talks. I think we need to flip it around.
Yeah.
I tried that for my co-host a lot, and he did not go for it. That's why I started streaming. Just really had to break out on my own and hear my own voice a lot. Sometimes I turn the game audio down just so I can really get a full juicy burst of me.
Yeah, just listening to yourself
title
talking.
Of your sex tape.
Just listening to yourself talk and me spamming the Phasmophobia jump scare.
Yeah, that's how I know I'm still alive, is hearing that scream.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. I am your guest, Nihilistic Luma. We're all just specks of dust in the wind.
I am your ghost, Blue Shell. Goodbye. I'm Hector.
I'm Ruthie.
And today we're fixing the Super Mario Brothers movie.
We're the Mario Brothers.
Brothers.
I was joking before we were recording, just to Hector, before Matt showed up, how if I had more time and more musical talent like Matt, I could revamp the Mario Brothers rap to be like reshoot themed, but I thought of it like 5 minutes before we recorded, and I'm like, shit.
It could be like, we're the Reshoot podcast and potting's our game. We're not like the others who sound all the same or something like that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's
very similar to what Ruthie said.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably not that many different ways you can go with it. I mean,
there's only so many syllables.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that old? I mean, I think that's probably before your time. The really old.
It was
late
before
80s,
my time.
Early 90s. It's really bad.
I think
I
saw the CinemaSins for it. Yeah,
that's probably the best way to do it. Yeah.
I think I saw like a few scenes at work once or twice. It's something.
Yeah, yeah. The movie's better than that. I'll give it that. Yeah, it's better than that.
I can believe it. I think I would have liked the original a little bit more personally, but the animation was nothing to sniff at. It was pretty good.
So, we forgot to talk about this. Who wants to do the synopsis?
Well,
this was my pick, right?
This is your pick, so technically you are episode czar.
I'm episode czar.
I think
you're
that's
episode
legal,
czar.
Yeah,
I'm episode czar. All right. So it starts off with Mario and Luigi. They have their new Mario Brothers plumbing service. No one believes in them, including their father. Job goes bad in a pretty hilarious way. And then Mario and Luigi see on the news that Brooklyn's flooding due to some issue, and they're like, we can fix it. So they go to World 2-1, aka the underground sewer level, and then they get sucked into a warp pipe. They go in different directions. Luigi goes into the Badlands, or the Darklands.
The Darklands.
The Darklands. Mario gets sent to the Mushroom Kingdom. He meets Toad. Mario and Toad convince Peach to let them join on her quest to stop Bowser from, who just got the Power Star and is getting close to invading the Princess Peach for what reason? We don't know. It's because he's in love with her and he wants to propose.
It's because she's so cool. And together they're gonna rule.
Mm-hmm.
She'll understand. And then you see a little bit of Luigi, sadly only a little bit of Luigi, where he's trying to like run away from like I forget the name of, I call myself a Mario fan, I always forget, the Dry Bones.
Skeleton Yoshi guys. I haven't played any of the games. This is going to be very obvious.
Oh, interesting. I thought that would be your wheelhouse, but I guess I assume it's everyone's wheelhouse.
I didn't play a lot of Nintendo as a kid. I never had like the DS or like the Game Boy. I had 360. That was my first game console. Otherwise, I've always been a computer gamer.
Cool.
PC Master Race.
And then, so Luigi runs away, and then he gets trapped by Bowser's minions. And Bowser interrogates Luigi by ripping off a bit of his mustache hair, which, same, I would also squeal like a pig. And then Mario has a little montage where he talks to Peach, and then, they have a
travel montage.
Travel montage, thank you, that's the word.
I got you.
Thank you. And then Peach is trying to be a diplomat to the Kongs and be like, help us with your army. And then they're like, no. And then Mario's like, fuck it, I need to get my brother back. I challenged Donkey Kong to a fight. He barely wins.
Skin of his little kitty teeth.
Yeah.
Little kitty teeth are sharp, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta be...
You can crunch a lot of paper.
And then Mario... Oh, and then they're all going down Rainbow Road as a passageway back to the Mushroom Kingdom. Bowser intercepts them. He captures all the Kongs, so that subplot was basically...
useless.
Well, it was useful for Mario, not as much for... It was kind of like a why then. And then Donkey Kong and Mario get stranded. They both complain about their dad problems because they get... And then Donkey Kong has the best retort of like, yeah, your dad's right to hate you. I'll give the movie that was like the funniest bit. And then they both break free of the whale. They do have a really cool attack. They have a really cool fight through Mushroom Kingdom against the Koopas.
Yeah.
And then Bowser has basically forced Peach to marry him, or otherwise he'll destroy everything. So she hid a ice flower in her bouquet, uses that to freeze Bowser, but not before he lets loose that big giant bullet bill that Mario shoots into Brooklyn, accidentally makes it go to the Brooklyn warp pipe, and it basically leads to Bowser to go into our world.
Yeah, it destroys the boundary between the two worlds. So there's like the Mushroom Kingdom crashes into Brooklyn. Bowser is trampling over like cars and shit.
By this point, Mario's rescued Luigi. Mario's about to get shot by a fireball when Luigi blocks through the sewer grate. Or not sewer grate, what do you call it? A sewer lid?
Manhole cover?
Manhole cover, thank you. So, manhole cover, they both get to the Superstar. There's a really cool rendition of the song, and they kick Bowser's ass, and then he's frozen, and then he sings the song half as good as Shore does.
True.
Oh, and then there's the post-credit scene where Yoshi's egg starts to crack in the
I didn't know that. That's good.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I was hopeful because he's like my favorite besides Wario, and I was like, oh, I wonder. They only got a brief shot of Yoshi during that travel montage. That's cool. Cool.
But yeah, and then that's the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, episodes off.
Good job.
All right.
What I liked about this movie, I really liked the Super Mario Brothers rap. I actually didn't know that was a thing, because like I said, I've never actually played any of the games. Well, okay, when I say I've like never played the games, I played them like in the little kids area at the bank when I was a kid, and my mom was like doing adult stuff, and they just had like a Game Boy sitting out there, and I was really
That's
bad
such
at
a
it.
weird perspective on them. And like, I've only played them at the bank. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
or
at
like
least we're a reprieve from the boredom of being a kid at the bank, right? It's
yeah.
like, can I play with this pen on this chain? That's about it.
Did
Well,
you?
and I'd always die at the first area because I'm not very good at platformers, so it's just like, okay, I'll just leap into
She's gone
oblivion
to the end
again.
of Hollow Knight, and she says she's not good
There
at
you go.
platformers.
They're not my thing, but Hollow Knight hits different.
Yeah,
That's
Hollow
fair.
Maybe it's
Knight's
the little
amazing.
nail.
Hollow Knight's the best.
But I do know a lot of the lore because I've got a lot of friends who play Mario, and I've like watched all the Game Grumps. Well, not all, but I've seen Game Grump videos, so like I'm familiar with the lore enough. Oh, and I tried to get into Super Mario Galaxy at my godmom's house, but it was hard to wrap my brain around, and it was not
With the gravity thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I only got
weird
like
one
2 or 3
for...
planets in, and I couldn't get very far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I loved it, but I completely understand why. That would be weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I got like 85-90% of the Easter eggs in the movie, I feel like. Like, I recognized a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't recognize the game music or the Mario Brothers rap stuff, but I was like, oh, hey, there's all this stuff in the galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy, like, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Hector play Odyssey, so I recognized what's-her-face, the mayor.
Pauline? Yeah.
Pauline,
Yeah, that made me happy to see her briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
What else did I like? I liked the animation. It was really pretty. Illumination, much as like the deeper stuff I don't like as much, but the animation, they know how to make something look good,
Mm-hmm.
Crisp.
No, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like the whole cast did a very good job melding into their respective characters. I often found myself forgetting who a lot of like the actors were, and I was like, oh wow, that's Toad. Wait, no, that's Keegan Michael Key. No, that's Toad,
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I think the strongest one for me was Seth Rogen, Donkey Kong.
Better than the Bowser? Jack Black Bowser?
I mean, yeah, he was. I felt like that one didn't need saying, but
Fair enough.
I didn't know how Seth was going to perform as Donkey Kong. I think I even told you this. Like, I don't know if that's gonna work, but it ended up being really good, and I don't know who else I would recast as Donkey Kong. And I will say, I didn't like Chris Pratt. He was the only one who stood out. Where it's like, really?
He couldn't fully commit to the accent. It slipped a few times.
Yeah. I felt like they sure you said it on your stream once where they hired Chris Pratt just because he was Emmett in Lego Movie. Totally agree.
I think that was my understanding of it's. Well, I just think like there are so few. It used to be like Hollywood is based around stars, right? And you make a vehicle for stars, and now it's based around properties more. But there's still an old school Hollywood vibe of you gotta like anchor a film franchise with a bankable star, and Chris Pratt is that guy now. Like all those Netflix movies where he's just like generic action guy, and it hurts my heart because I'm like, oh, he's so funny, but you're not using even Jurassic movies. I'm like, he's so funny, but you're not really letting him do his best thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, to me, it's be like if you made. I was trying to think of an equivalent. But if Tom Hanks was just like only did those Angels and Demons type movies, and you never got to see him be like, I mean, I guess in the equivalent that this is like his chance, Chris Pratt's chance to be Woody in a Toy Story. I don't know if I can bounce off of what you just said briefly, but I was really like giving Chris Pratt shit before this movie. And so I expected it to be like really bad, but I agree wholeheartedly with what you said with the voices. Midway through, I was like, oh, I forgot that I'm supposed to be mad at him about his dumb voice, because I liked it. I was like, I think getting to hear Charles Martinet, the real Mario guy from the games, like 5 seconds into the movie, I'm like, okay, they gave me my thing. Like I'm fine. Like, and I was just like, I sort of felt that way about everybody. I was like, yeah, that's it. They're doing the best they can. I liked Seth Rogen too. I agree with you. I would like, Yeah, how do you make Donkey Kong like a fully realized character? Like, I don't understand. But they did a good job, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could always go off the the Donkey Kong show in the 90s.
Right, which is another like the Mario show where it's just like they don't know what they're doing, and like it's really hard in some ways because you you have so little to go on. Like there's game mechanics, but there's so little story besides like
Mm-hmm.
King K. Rool took the bananas, but we want the banana. Like it's like that's it. Like like it's hard to turn that into like a half hour, let alone like a 90-minute epic. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought even when Ruthie said it's lore, I'm like, man, I have a hard time thinking of like Ruthie and I talk about Bloodborne a lot, and like that's lore, right? Like Mario
Mhm.
is like that's a star, it's good. That's a mushroom, it's also good, and like
Except for the
like,
blue one.
yeah, that makes you small. Or wait, the other blue one makes you poisoned. It's just like
Well, what you don't know about the Mario stars is they're actually the ground up. I don't know.
You're not wrong if we're counting galaxy stars, though.
Oh yeah, they
Their
are. They're
whole-
the Lumas.
No, because that's Galaxy 1. It's basically like they actually had a weird theme of like, yeah, all these stars, they're going to die and create new life out of everything, out of their death. And then like Galaxy 2 is just like, wahoo, adventure! Like the entire time.
Forget all that. Yeah.
I feel like they were doing that, and then like one suburban mom like started to dig into it, and they were like, "Oh no, abort! Get rid of it! No!"
Oh no, Japanese values, stop them.
Not in my WASP household.
Right, white Anglo-Saxon. I thought it was about like bees for a second. I got really confused as to why a bee would be angry.
It's Felucia's honey hunt.
Oh, yeah.
So that's it. That's all you liked.
I liked the Easter eggs, with a caveat, little asterisk right there. And then the nihilistic Luma was very cute, and it was also a mood at times.
You always like those characters. I told you I was listening to the Men in Black one. And I'm like, she's gonna like the little Kumail guy who I completely forgot existed until I listened to the thing. It's like, who's the guy in Rise of Skywalker? Babu Frick. Like that's a Ruthie character too.
Oh yeah,
right.
I lost my shit in Mandalorian season 3 when the little babus showed up. I'm like, yeah,
babus. I just started it last night.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I just saw I'm like 15 minutes into the first episode, and then I like fell asleep because of my new schedule. But like when you're walking by, no, I don't care about Babu Frick enough for that to be a big deal. But what excited me was seeing all of the Salacious Crumb guys in a tree early on.
Oh yeah,
like Jabba the Hutt's like little guy. Like that's a shout out to me.
Sure, you were 15 minutes off from seeing the Babu Fricks. I'm not even joking.
Oh, it was in the first episode?
It was in the first episode, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was in the same planet. Yeah, Chief Karga's planet, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like right there. I'm just like, yeah, I'm behind on everything. And
no, you're
like,
fine.
Star Wars time of the year.
It's Star Wars Day. I'm wearing my shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
May the 4th be with you.
It's the way you said it. The face you made like a Yertle Maternal Mitch McConnell face. You're like, may the 4th be with you. That's the funniest.
Now I've got the giggles.
It's just so funny that like that would be where you draw the line on nerdy shit. Like we talk about so much nerdy shit all the time, so much D&D and stuff. It's like, me, the 4th be with you, nerds. Like I think that's a funny drawing the line.
No, I one time as a joke, she was like, "Seduce me with your Star Wars knowledge." I went on like a 20-minute talk about the Mandalorian.
No, when he says 20 minutes, I mean no pauses to breathe, no pauses for me to think. No, just
that's bombardment.
After like 2 minutes in, I just kind of got lost into it, and then I just started.
He saw my eyes glaze over. He saw the fear.
And I'm just like, oh, free real estate. And then I just kept going.
It haunts my nightmares. Okay. Now onto my dislikes.
Okay.
My first one I have to say it was Chris Pratt. I felt really frustrated. I'm not sure if, and I'm trying to be charitable in this assumption. I'm not sure if it was like he wanted to do the voice, but the studio Nintendo told him to pull back because they want his star voice, or if it was like
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. I
yeah.
was thinking about that the whole time. Like, what's the... Because like the movie starts with him doing the Mario voice, and it's fine. It's surfaceable. It's not like, I mean, with all respect to Charles Martinet, who has done doing these for so long, like it's like everyone can do this voice as long as you can hit that
Woo!
register, right? It's like a high stereotypical Italian accent. Like it's not. He literally says "Mamma Mia." Like it's not a complex. It's not a Homer Simpson voice where you really have to concentrate on 3 different impressions at once and hold it in your mouth. Like it's so it's weird that they're like, no, he needs to be Americanized. Let's
Like I
like,
get I get the like not being Italian. That makes sense. He's in Brooklyn. His family, like he's a second generation Italian American or
right.
whatever. But like there was no New Yorker in there, you know?
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I think what happened is the director was like, or well, someone higher up was like, we didn't want to risk being offensive to Italian Americans, so we just didn't do the Italian bit.
Which is insane because Italian Americans, like,
They don't give it.
I mean, I don't know how they feel about Mario, but I feel like if they cared about Mario's representation, they would have said something by now, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They've had enough decades with the character.
Well, John Leguizamo was like, "There's no Italian representation," but I'm like, "Aren't you Mexican? So like, how does?"
Yeah, as long as you don't like stereotype.
Let me check before I pull off a Joe Rogan say something really stupid in my own podcast. Let me check.
Well, like,
like when you said that lady didn't have 3 arms, she had 3 arms. I was listening.
Hashtag
Ed was right.
Check.
Hashtag Ed was right. Sure. Ed shot first. No,
like,
I think the point you made is true though, Ruthie, because I think I saw a Charlie Day interview. He does Luigi in this movie. Charlie Day, It's Always Sunny, and he was specifically told by the directors, they're like, I think you're doing a mafia thing there. Maybe pull back on it a little bit. He's like, I think it's good. You sure you don't want me
God
to?
forbid the Italian American let them know. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not Puerto Rican, Italian, or Lebanese, supposedly. So yeah, I don't know why he's been on this weird rant on.
He's jealous.
Culturally Italian. He eats lasagna. I say that joke having made homemade lasagna last night.
And me not wanting to eat it because I actually don't. Me, who has some Italian blood, cannot have a lot of lasagna.
He can't stand lasagna. It makes me so sad.
Really? I can eat like little chunks, but it's like
he doesn't like lasagna.
I can eat like 5 bites and I'm fulfilled. But everyone's like, no, you have to eat the whole brick, and I'm just like, no, please.
Brick of meat.
It's a very heavy meal that you can almost always feel in your tummy afterwards, because like I like it, but like if I'm at a fine restaurant like Olive Garden, I'm going to I'm going to probably get something that's like a noodle based pasta. I guess they are all noodle based pastas, but like a traditional, like, I don't know.
Along with the breadsticks.
Is there a non-noodle based pasta?
I mean, if
no, like I'm not trying to take a dump on you here. Sure, I'm legit curious.
But you know what I mean, because like because
instead of like a sheet
lasagna
pasta
has the flat noodles, right? Because it's still the same. But you're not. Wait, is noodle? This is going to be a really frustrating thing for all Italians listening. Is a noodle a substance or is it a shape? Because in my opinion, it's a shape. Because chicken noodle soup is the shape, and that's how I think about it.
I was thinking it's a substance because, like, if you think it's the shape, what about those like egg noodles like you get with stroganoff? Because that's not like a traditional. Right. It's like almost a mini lasagna.
But we've had
that's like a double helix.
But we've had vegetable noodles before, and that's not a substance. That's just the.
So what do you call the layers of noodle material? Is this just pasta between in a fine lasagne from the Olive Garden from the OG?
Yeah, they are like noodles.
I said I wouldn't ruin this episode with just extraneous bullshit, and here I am discussing the substance.
Ruining. You are improving this episode
Matt,
with a
Nope,
riveting
no more talking
debate.
from me
Matt,
until it's my turn.
I'm egg noodling you on. Okay, it's fine.
I just feel like if I keep once I get going, I'm just spinning round and round like a rotini, you know.
Don't say what I think you're gonna say, Ruthie.
I'm shell shocked.
Oh, they're gonna say. I'm saying we're not going that deep dish into this, but
but that's not a noodle. That's a pizza.
What's the pizza made out of? Wait, not noodles. Yeah. God damn it, Mike.
Wait, pizza is kind of weird. Is pizza pasta or is it just?
No,
it's
a bread. I mean, it's a bread with like pasta sauce on it,
dude.
And cheese.
That you just invented like how the Pepsi Corporation thinks of food. By the way, they're like, well, a pizza is a bread, so you could put a KFC fillet between it, and that's a sandwich.
Ta-da!
It's the triple cardiac down. It's the man down sandwich.
Do you ever want to get somebody really upset? Ask them if cereal is a soup.
Yes, it is.
It definitely is.
Absolutely.
It's a gazpacho.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A dairy-based gazpacho.
God, I want gazpacho now. Ruthie, please. We're going down the loophole. Let's keep going.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right. I felt like all of those Easter eggs replaced an actual good story. I didn't like that. It felt like, take away the Easter eggs, right? Let's just say that this was like, take away the Mario rights, like make this the Magic the Gathering movie from the alternate dimension that you watched, sure. On Hit Podcast made up movies.
Hit Podcast canceled due to lack of interest.
But take away the like copyright. It's not Mario, it's Barrio. Barrio goes into local sewer, into an alternate world. I swear I have a serious point.
No, I know.
Mario, I feel like that was an inadvertent, like, isn't that the one? Oh, never mind. I'm not going to make that joke. Go ahead. Keep going.
But, like, a guy goes into a sewer, into an alternate world, and goes and saves his brother. He goes on an adventure with a princess. There's not a lot of meat there, you know?
I mean, the games don't add a lot of meat.
And the only meat they have is Mario. The princess is kidnapped and Mario saves her, and they're like, "Sexist, we're not doing that." So you can't even do like the story. The story is so freaking shallow.
No.
And that like you can't.
No, I will defend that bit though, because like, why would Mario go out of his way to save? Like, he'd be nice, but I don't think he'd go that far out of his way to save someone he barely knows. But if it's his brother.
No, that totally makes sense. I'm not saying from a story standpoint. I'm just saying, like, from an intellectual property standpoint, like, the Mario has such a thin and flat story, and they're like, and the only thing that it's known for, saving the princess, really, they're like, ugh, this is not
the trope for this.
Right. Like, you can't really do it. So it's just, that's, we'll get into it later, but I think you're right. And I think there were a lot of Easter eggs in place of story. And I'm like, to me, because Mario is so wafer thin on story, like compared to like Zelda or even Metroid, that like they did the best job I think they could trying to play it extremely safe in this movie.
Yeah, because, I think that's my issue. They played it way too safe. I kind of wish that they had taken some kind of risk.
Super safe.
Hey, wait a minute. Paper Mario. There's so many stories. You didn't know about this. It's fine.
I'm familiar with the concept of Paper Mario. Game Grumps only got like 2 episodes in. I was disappointed. I was really looking forward to watching that.
The story's good.
I was going to reference Paper Mario.
You know?
Yeah, but it's the only one with an actual story. You could just
Odyssey, you got a little bit more meat to it. You got Cappy trying to save his sister.
All the RPGs, you could make the argument. And I think the characterization of Bowser in this is based off of the way they characterize him in the RPGs, where he's a little bit more comic. Like, he can be scary. He has that switch he can flip where he's scary, but he's also a lovelorn kind of insecure ruler, which makes him fun and interesting. And I feel like they did a good job with that element of him too.
Yeah, no, they did a good balance on Bowser. All right, my next dislike. I'm gonna go on a mini tangent, but bear with me. I have a point. So there was this show in the like early to mid 2010s. It was called Johnny
What is she
Test.
talking about? I can't believe this is what a tangent. I can't actor. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hector, rein in your woman here. Jeez.
You're right. I wanted to say it, but I didn't want to be a jerk. I just wanted to go to the trope so bad. She's out of control, dude. I don't even. Just because you set it up, like, bear with me. It's like
Look, I
immediately
can't.
tell you out.
Look, this is a no fault divorce state. I can't. I don't want to risk it, man.
That was
That's the
amazing.
funniest shit you've ever said. Oh my god. This is off the rails. Oh god.
As it left my mouth, I'm like, I am going to regret. I'm putting it all on the fucking line here.
You said
Like
it to
our
the right
Overwatch
immediate
conversation.
audience.
Like, I don't know if I wish you guys could see my face, like the audience could see my face, because like the light left my eyes as I
He
said the
looked
words.
so disgusted with himself as he was saying it. Just, God, what is my life now? It's like, Lydia Tarr at the end of Tar when she's like,
Oh yeah,
oh.
it was a Tar moment for sure. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I am ruining everything I have for a joke.
You've listened to too much made up movies and you've become me and Kolar, where we're like, this is gonna destroy my life, but the joke, we have to sell the bit though.
Like
and that's
Kolar and Mitch
that'll make us happy for 30 seconds before we get happy again and need another bit, and then
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm sorry. Johnny Test.
Yeah. So Johnny Test, someone pointed it out to me once and I couldn't unsee it, and I stopped watching the show after because it just ruined the show for me. And the thing that they pointed out was there is not a single moment where there is no sound or nothing happening in the show. There's always something happening. It's bam, 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 bam. Always. There's always a zinger, there's always a little sting, the characters are always talking. There's no pauses.
I think someone once counted how many times they did the whip noise in one episode, and I think it got up towards of like 30 to 50. And like I think that was even the worst one. So like,
I say this with love as a person with ADHD. It felt like they stuck 5 middle school ADHD unmedicated boys in a room with 5 Hour Energy, Red Bull, Mountain Dew, and enough Doritos to end world hunger.
I was gonna say to kill a goddamn lion, but
but just like, that's it. It's always buzzing, it's always moving, and it drove me crazy after that because sometimes you just need something to breathe. And I felt like this movie did the same goddamn thing, and it drove me crazy while I was watching it because it was like always something happening, always someone talking, always a Mario song in the background. The transitions were really fast. You never got a chance to like kind of sit with what was going on. It felt like and I say this as a person who doesn't like being on roller coasters. It felt like being on a roller coaster, always up, always down, never just
I feel like
you are 100% right. You are 100%. I've heard that criticism said about it. There are no. It's what I think it's an illumination facet, but it's also very more in this than even in Despicable Me, which has like quiet,
moments,
heartfelt moments. This feels like it considers itself to be spinning a plate, and it's so scared to have any stillness or it's going to drop the plate. But like as I'm watching it, I'm like, you don't get how much I as the target viewer, the target non-child viewer of this movie, just want to live in this place for like, so like that's the draw of like going to Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios too. It's like, oh cool, I get to like see it in fully realized. And like, yeah, it doesn't have to be buzz all the time. Like you could, it desperately needed those Pixar moments of like, what's really magical about this world, Mario? It's this fire that I hold in my hand. It's sort of like the human soul. And you're like, whoa, holy shit, this is meaningful, or it isn't, but it's cosplaying is meaningful, and I like that. It makes me feel something. And like they almost got there with that Princess Peach looking at the galaxy scene, but again, that scene felt like it was like 30 seconds long, and that's why. Whereas every other scene's like 15 seconds long. And it's like, this is Frankie Kong. He's different now. Goodbye. It's like,
and it was like between the two montages. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, the fact that you cross the entirety of Super Mario World in like a montage, I'm like, oh, it's this cut. Okay, they said it went fast. There's Yoshi. See him later. It's like,
They
what
also
just happened?
Speaking of that, with that montage, why did we get only one Odyssey map? Come on. Sorry,
Yeah.
Odyssey is my favorite game. I try not to be the guy who's like, ooh, shiny, but like, my god, the tech is so much fun. I've tried speedrunning that game and I can't, but it's so much fun.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that game is great.
I'm gonna try not to interrupt. Sorry, Ruthie.
Well, sure, you touched in on something I was gonna, another point I was gonna add to it. You're not the typical audience. I think what pisses me off genuinely so much that they did that is because, there's so much entertainment out there, and there's so much predatory entertainment out there, especially, like, for kids. Like,
Chris Hansen and stuff. Yeah.
well, like TikTok, it kind of borders on it because, like, the TikTok, they specifically say, like, you have to be 13 or older to join, or you have to have parents' permission, you know?
And then you can look at the adult woman dancing in her underwear.
Mhm.
Once you're 13,
Yeah,
it's the same thing with Twitch.
Yeah, but, like,
for some reason, that's the age when ogling women becomes okay, according to America's Stanza Cut. I don't know why, but
well, it's not necessarily the ogling of women. It's like the minute or less kind of content funnel that's just shoved down your throat. Like, Netflix tried to do this thing. I'm not sure if you know about it, sure, but audience, in case you don't, Netflix introduced for a brief moment before they got a shit ton of backlash, which they deserved. They tried to encourage, they started to do like a badge program for kids so that the longer that they watched Netflix stuff, the longer they binged, they would get more badges and more shiny dopamine.
that's insane. It's like, and
Horrible.
remember to eat this food to make you docile and slow while you're watching. It's just like, that's the Wall-E future. That's like the plan, right?
Yeah, and it that kind of stuff makes me so mad. And so, like, as I was watching this movie, like, I was kind of enjoying it, but I totally recognized, like, this is really shitty, and this is not the kind of movie I would want for children to watch. Like, not necessarily just my own, just like as a person in a society. I don't know.
We live in society, Batman. Sorry, go on. I had to get out there.
We live in a society, Batman. I want kids to have good, healthy media.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I think this junk, like, in a
Wholesome
sense,
Joker.
this like whole like this junk food approach is fine on occasion, but it's too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. This movie just made $1 billion, and I'm really, I don't know. I don't want to say worried because I'm going to sound like a paranoid person, but like it concerns me.
The trend, they might follow the trend.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think this movie is the, what do you call it? The transition point of the trend. I feel like it's like them seeing TikTok and being scared, and that's them playing it safe. They're like, everything has to be that digestible. It has to be. So like, but I also think they're like, okay, we did it right. We can be less scared the next movie we make. That's what I'm hoping. They make the next movie 2 hours instead of whatever it was 90 minutes, and then like just let things breathe slightly and give it like 5% more story. Like, I think there's a version of that movie that, you know, could even be just 15 minutes longer, and it would still be like, you know, find something in there, do a couple drafts, you know, give Luigi one extra scene where he you know, does something.
I think Illumination only does like 1.5 hour averages, which sucks. I think that was more of an Illumination
than
than
the Lorax. That's my favorite Illumination movie.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I think you're right in general. But what I'm saying
hour 26.
Damn. Did not feel that.
No, so here, I think there's a reason why, and it's not the reason you think. I can't remember who it was. There was some they're owned by Comcast, right? Yeah. They have been on record for saying we make our movies cheap. I think someone on Reddit was saying like, pay attention to watch a movie and then pay attention to the trailer. All those high kinetic scenes you see in the movie and the trailers are probably some of the most money they spent on the movie, and it's mainly just for trailers. You know, like the rest of it's kind of chill and not as big. This one's different for reasons I'll get into later, but
Well, it's because they had the Nintendo money.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
at my work, I think I've said this before, I do marketing stuff, but we have something that's called co-op. So what that means is, if we work with a vendor, we slap their logo on it, we give them enough props, they will pay us up to half of the cost of a given thing.
Nintendo paid for half of the movie.
They did pay for half.
They
the
paid
movie?
for half. It was officially.
So yeah, it was co-op.
Yeah, they paid for 50,000 of the.
Hector, you were the one who told me that there was the Japanese cut of this movie, right?
Yes, I have.
There's a different cut.
There is. Japan was already working on a different script.
Oh.
And it was going to be released in certain theaters. There was none nearby. I was going to go see it because I was curious to see what the difference is.
I would love to see that. I would buy that on Blu-ray, just wholesale, just to see, like, is there any weird Japanese stuff in it? Like, that, to me, that is, like, the stuff that I crave. Is like, oh, Ruthie, what you said earlier about the frenetic pace, I think the reason it didn't bother me as much is, one, I was warned by every review that it had that, so I was like, okay, I'm expecting this. My expectations were very low, and so, but two, it did remind me of a theme park ride. That's what it reminded me of. One of those, like, stuffed to the brim. Like, it reminded me of, like, the Harry Potter at Universal, where all your favorite characters are there, and you have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They're like, we have to go over here. Oh, no! Bellatrix! And she just appears, and you're like, what? Why? Okay, it's fun, though. And then it's over, and you waited 3 hours. So you're like, yeah, I think I had fun. It was great, But, like, that's sort of what it was to me. I love amusement parks so much that kind of, like, frenetic bombardment pace, like, I could accept it as that. It definitely did feel like a 3D movie you would watch at a theme park. I feel like this is insane, but I think Shrek 4D is slower paced and less insane than the Super Mario. I think Shrek 4D has, like, a lot of, like, oh, they're in the buggy and Donkey's doing the popping noise again. Like, it is like less crazily paced than
it is.
That's nuts.
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah, maybe it's just, like, in my soul, I'm a crotchety old man who's screaming at kids to, like, get off my lawn. I don't like a lot of fast-paced things.
I don't think that's it. I don't think it's to its the movie's credit that it's like that. I understand why it's like that. I think it's for that point you're trying to make, that it's like, okay, get in, get out. This animation is expensive. You'd want to make it shorter, and kids have shorter attention spans, so that's, whatever. But, like, yeah, I think it bothered me less, even though I also noticed it. I clocked it. I, like, accepted it more readily because I'm like, this reminds me of something. And it was like, wasn't until this conversation that I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I love amusement parks and I am a sucker for that kind of nonsense.
Also, DreamWorks is also owned by them. I don't think they're going to follow the same trend.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
really?
but DreamWorks has they've got the brand. You know what I mean? Like,
they do whatever they want. I love them for it.
Well, yeah, but, like, they're an established thing. If they started churning out this Illumination bullshit, people would drop them.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to the fun stuff. Here's the fixes.
Ooh, fixes.
Yeah.
So, I'd keep the movie pretty much the exact same before they get into the pipe. The one thing I might throw in is at the dinner table when Mario's being criticized by his family, someone pipes in, like, Mario, you're not patient. You can never just wait for good things to happen. You always have to just chase them down yourself, right?
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
I spoiled what I was gonna fix.
No.
What's like coming?
Well, you gave me one, like, two words.
Yeah, I gave you, like, the well, like,
I don't remember,
like,
what
pitch.
you told me.
Yeah.
I just remember the pitch.
So they go down to the sewer. Same things happen. They get separated in the magic pipe thing. Mario meets Toad. Toad gets really excited as Mario is introducing himself. Because you see, in this world, all the creatures have heard this magical prophecy that bad people in the world, like Bowser or King Dedede, or, like, what was the
Satan.
thing? Satan, literally Satan.
That would be the best version of this, right? It's like Bowser or Wario or Hitler, and he's just, whoa, this took some swings. Now this is the non-safe version of this movie. I don't like it necessarily, but I'm interested. It's like Zack Snyder. It's like, look, this isn't for me, but at least it's his vision.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
There is a fan thing of Mario. Do you know Terminal
With the shorter
Montage?
mustache. Yeah. I just watched the Mario World one.
The one that I
Yeah.
posted in Discord, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole bunch, but Mario's possessed by a literal speed demon.
Well, funny you should mention that. All the evil things in this world are said to be defeated by, weirdly enough, a group of people, and all of them are named Mario, but there's like a lot of variations, so they're not sure if it's the same Mario or if it's like a different Mario. Like there's a Mario who has like a sentient hat who uses it like a boomerang. There is a Mario who he can like go from a fully formed person onto like a
Okay.
paper.
Hector and I have
Motherfucker.
to have the same thought.
Did you
Does she
create
know-
Zelda?
She
Apparently,
created Zelda. This is the terrible Zelda lore that idiot Zelda fans like me are like, yep, it all makes sense. There's always a Link and there's always a Zelda. This is the exact stupid Zelda lore that they use to justify how they just tell the same story in a different way every time.
you guys
Like,
think
it's
so
literally
highly of
that.
me. This is really like
You
this is
invented
not
Zelda.
nearly as fleshed out as like a Zelda fan.
No,
timeline.
that's why it's great, is because it's exactly as well fleshed out as a
No,
Zelda fan timeline.
they literally
It's
use it.
better.
They use the
Because
timeline to shut up fans. They literally
Yeah,
use the
they did.
timeline to shut up fans. They just
think
want to
it
make
helps a
fun
lot.
games, and then the whole thing is mechanics first, story based around the mechanic. I love them for it, but
sure.
like,
Yeah, it's just a trope. It's like Mario in that way, but it's like people wanted it to make. I think because of Ocarina of Time, people wanted it to make a broader sense or something like that,
Mhm.
and so they just started throwing these things around. But yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's got that same vibe of like, this is a legend that repeats throughout history. But I think like it also makes sense in what they're doing with Mario is like, here's the paper version of you. Like Mario, I feel like is more like a Spider-Verse where it's like, because
yeah, keep going. Sorry.
But yeah, so there's wielding sentient hat. Some can turn into paper. There's one guy who's really good at golf. But yeah, all of them, they're named
like
Mario.
that's a better joke than just about anything in the movie, by the way, right?
Yeah.
See that, right? One who's just like really good at golf, and they cut to him, and he hits a hole in run, and is just like, hey, like that, like that's all you have to do. Like
It's like him and Bowser and like
like Bowser just like he looks down at the scorecard. Bowser's got like 18. Mario's got a hole in one every time, and just
and it's like so long about Bowser. Yeah,
Bowser just like breaks the club or whatever.
yeah,
you could have Charles Martinet do one of the voices for Mario there.
I was
yeah,
thinking
or
the exact same
Waluigi's
thing just
there
now.
and
Yeah,
like breaking a club in half, you know.
Wario voiced by Danny DeVito, please.
true. So like Toad is like fan toading all over the place. Like, oh, you're Mario. Do you have the hat? Grabs the hat. No, it doesn't look sentient to me. Kind of pushes into him. No, you're not the paper guy. No, I don't see the club. What kind of Mario are you? What's your special power? And Mario's like, I don't have a special power. I'm a plumber. They're all plumbers. Shit.
I'm a conglomeration of marketing forces.
Like Captain
You can
Planet.
buy me for $14.99.
But what I'm going to tell you, lovely audience, is that this Mario, Pratt Mario, he's not an ordinary Mario. He has one special ability. So they get to Peach's castle, and Peach, just like in the regular movie, she's like, okay, well, yeah, instead of come join me at the trials, it's give me a second, let me set up the royal trial course, whatever she calls it. She goes down. Mario's talking with Toad. He's like, Toad, I'm not special. You've seen me. I'm not very good at this. What am I supposed to do? And he crosses his arms and he leans back into the wall and he clips. You see, his superpower, his special Mario power is he is speedrun Mario.
That's awesome.
And he clips directly to the course as Peach is setting it up, and she's like, wow, that was amazing. All right, time to do the course. And he does the course, and just like in the movie, he has a really hard time with it. Eventually she falls asleep. As she's asleep, he's like trying to do it, and he remembers for a moment when she does the special spin thing, she got a couple extra seconds in the air when he couldn't make the jump, and he figures out if he does the spin just right, just at the exact
Right,
moment. Yeah. The joke is like he's learning speedrun strategies to manipulate the physics of this world like a speedrunner would in the game's IRL.
Do you know how many people would love that? I mean, that's clever because it makes it relatable in a way. It's a better story. I love that. I love that.
Did I
attribute this to you because you love speedruns.
I love speedruns. So here's the thing. So can I give a quick tangent? So Ruthie was like, hey, Hector, you have some speedrunning stuff that can help? Okay, yeah, sure. I sent her 2 videos. I start watching one without realizing, and I was really busy that night. And then she's like, after like, she was taking a shower, bath, or something. She comes out and is like, what are you doing, Hector? Are you working on the thing? I'm like, no, I started watching the speedrunning video. Sub 40, Ruthie. That's impressive. Sub 40 for...
Okay. Oh yeah. And then as he's doing the course, she wakes up and he's doing it perfectly, magically. He learned the entire thing. He's doing like speedrun stuff. Yeah.
Does he do the thing where he goes behind, crouch jumps back on the stairs and just
I wouldn't necessarily do that on the course, but during the travel montage, yes. I would add more of that stuff just to give it a little bit more breathing room. It would be a lot more like speedrunning stuff, and she'd be like, how the hell did he get there?
That can be a good horror movie. Just turns around for a second, looks back, he's gone. He's like right in front of her.
What's taking you so long? Come on, let's go. But as the two of them are like becoming friends or whatever, I'd want Mario and Peach to kind of both have this thing where like they think the other person is really cool and really extraordinary. Like Mario's like, wow, she's a princess. Wow, she's really capable. She's just innately good at this stuff. I have to like bullshit my way through this, except he wouldn't say bullshit, it's a kid's movie. But just like she gets it in a way I can't. And Peach is like, he's Mario. He's like the guy. How am I supposed to compete with Mario? Oh my god, I have to be perfect. And yeah, just like that conflict.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think they need to have a romance. I know, like, in the games, they always have a romance.
Yes, they do. They need to kiss, and I need to watch it. I'm a man.
They need the PG sexiness.
Gentle kissing, no tongue.
His pee block goes into her pipe, okay?
Mario, I baked you a cake. There's something inside it. Do you want it? Oh yeah.
Sure, I think you looked up the wrong speed run.
I mean, I definitely speed ran what I was doing while I was watching it. It was great.
Oh, God.
Take that, Sonic. Mario wins again. Fastest hedgehog alive, my ass.
My cheeks hurt.
Okay.
All right. So, God, I can't say it now.
Keep going.
The like point where the tension bubbles over. I couldn't say the other thing that I wanted to because you would immediately laugh at me. But where this comes to a head, the two of them, right before the design a cart for the the Mario Kart thing, like the two of them are like, they need to just have that conversation of like, wow, I think you're really wonderful, and sometimes I feel kind of intimidated by that. And the two of them together sharing that, they don't have to have like that realization of like, wow, maybe some people have their own strengths after all, and maybe you shouldn't put yourself in other expectations.
That's a good lesson for kids.
Yeah. They don't have to have that like immediately. They can have that later. But I don't know, I thought I'd just throw a little bit of morality. Just sprinkle it on there. You know?
That's good.
They should learn like, wow, it doesn't matter what our skills are as long as we look really good using these filters on our phones.
As long as I look exactly like the pretty girl on Instagram, what can go wrong, honestly?
Exactly. And if I know where she lives, she has to behave the way I like. So watch out.
No cost too great. No.
And yeah, I'd try and give the movie a little, just lengthen the transitions, maybe have a character like in the old like Scooby, like older movies, like they'd have a character like make a face and then they'd transition. You could do more of that, but just a little bit more expression, a little bit more.
My fix is the opposite, where they're constantly screaming, "There's no time!" And they're just like, you see the Yoshis, and they just push them out of frame. They're like, "No, you don't get to see that yet. 3 more movies at least. Money, money, money."
I
And
thought
they
you were gonna be
scream,
like, push the Yoshis off the cliff like lemmings.
That is an actual thing you can do in the.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
an actual thing. You have to. There's like a jump where it's
You
really
have to-
beneficial to kill the Yoshi.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's how I'd fix the movie. That's
That's
my
good.
Thank you. I don't know what to do with myself as they're clapping.
You soak in the praise. You soak in the praise.
Soak in the praise. All right, Shore, your turn.
Okay.
His episodes are you have to.
Okay. So my likes in general, I liked it. I already said I gave Chris Pratt too hard a time at first, like a really, really hard time. And then there was a point about 45 minutes in where I was like, oh, I've just accepted that's Mario's voice in this version, in this incarnation. Like I just sort of accepted it, and I realized that it wasn't bugging me as much as when I watched the trailer over and over obsessively, which I had to do because I had to write an article about it, but would have done for free. I was like, Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. I don't even think he said that in the movie. It was weird
No,
that
They cut it out because of the bad.
They got such a negative press.
That was the worst part of the trailer. Everyone's mocking it for
Yeah.
months.
He just sounds so off there. So I liked visuals, very nice, and I liked the texture on everything. At first I wasn't wild about all the slight redesigns where everyone's, you know, just like different elements of the face. Nose is a little smaller, like eyes in a slightly different position. It's like gets to the point where you're like, wait, why are we fixing something that, like, I know he's been redesigned throughout the years, but like what's the point? Like, but after a while you're like, oh, this is nice. You know, it all fits together in a nice way.
I'll never forgive them for moving Mario's dump truck of an ass. Let's be real. Yeah,
he was dummy thick.
He used to be dummy thick. It's just like May. They got it too big and then they got it too small, and they ruined the character. Thank God Widowmaker's still here. Oh, Widowmaker.
God, also, hey, for the eternal record, Shore got me back into Overwatch. God damn it, Shore.
I did. I was off of it because of the scandal, but then our buddy Oddish was like, maybe we should give it a shot. And so I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, one last shot. But it's in a good place right now. That's
I just don't pay you money, and basically they're just
no, rip them off as much as you can.
Yeah, no,
that's my
I've never paid for Overwatch. My friend got me as a gift, so I've technically never spent a dime.
Okay, so I liked, visually I liked it. Music, I loved the, I guess, reorchestrations and remixes of the original themes. I thought they were really nice and pleasant, and some of them I thought like, oh, all of the like the heart and soul that I wish was in like the quiet moments that this movie doesn't have. I thought the music, like as a fan of the music, it filled in a lot for me in terms of like it hit my nostalgia heart. I was like, okay, that's great.
It wasn't bad music.
I thought they were going to. I like classic Peach being. I don't mind her being damsel in distress. I understand why that's unpalatable now, and but I also like Princess being like able to float and being her playable character in Mario 2. And you know, I like both versions of that. I like that she's nice and sweet and also has powers, and you know, it just depends on the situation. But I loved what they did with her. I thought it was a great performance by Anya Taylor-Joy. I thought the animation of her was good. I liked that moment with them in as the Fireflower Fields. I thought like this is the closest it's come to a quiet moment. I like that. I liked seeing Yoshi, even though we didn't get to see him much. I loved DK. I thought he was great. Thought Luigi was good, and I think I saw an interview with Seth Rogen where he is like, they're like, could you try to be less mean to Mario as DK? Like, I don't think they're gonna like it. And he's like, no, they're gonna like it.
He
He
was
like put his back down. Yeah, he was right. It's because it's great because it's like we all know that sort of like antagonistic, like rival or older brother kind of vibe, and it's like, yeah, it reads. It's a very uh not everyone has to be super nice to Mario. I liked Keegan's performance of Toad. I thought that was really good in terms of his vocal performance. Yeah, Bowser was fun. I don't think of Jack Black as the scary version of Bowser, but of course Peaches the song is so much fun. Probably the highlight of the movie overall,
Yeah.
and why it's become such a meme.
It
I
got
don't
him
know
for
why.
the it got Jack Black for the first time as a solo artist on the Billboard.
Yeah, yeah, that's really great. I've always loved Jack Black. One of the first concerts I saw was Tenacious D.
Oh,
Um,
awesome!
and yeah, I mean, there's I liked seeing Rainbow Road. I like that they sort of like jumped off the course at one point. I thought that was a fun reference. And yeah, there's just a lot of little stuff. There's like a moment where King Babam is at the wedding from Mario 64, and he's like
Yes.
he accidentally hits a Koopa shell, and it goes back and forth and is like hitting him in the butt in the pew. And I'm like, okay, that's like a nice little moment. And I like the blue shell turtle and stuff. I think there's a lot of little fun stuff in there. Um, but yeah, I mean, what we've talked about, it's so hyper fast paced that it's what you're liking is kind of like icing. It's a movie that's like 90% icing and like very little, like Mario's Booty. There's not much cake. Um, uh, so my dislikes would be, I was like, this is like a 90-minute movie. Why are we spending so much time with this dog in the bathroom at the beginning? And like, as someone who, I was like, I felt like we spent like compared because of how fast everything moves. I was like, we spent like approximately 70 hours in Brooklyn. It felt like to me in the beginning. I didn't mind it at the end, but I'm like, why are we meeting Mario's family if they are all so samey and unremarkable? It felt like such a wasted opportunity to see a Mario family, and they're just like the most generic stereotypes. It's like we can't have Mario be a stereotype. His family, on the other hand, are just stereotypes. I did like that Mario has an NES in his room, although and there's like a bunch of little references like at the bar and stuff like that. I like Charles Martinet in there.
Wasn't it called
And
the Punch Out Pizzeria?
Mm-hmm.
right, exactly. There's lots of
Yeah.
little NES references. Um, but yeah, I was like the whole thing with the dog and the dog being mean to them. I'm like, this is just like I get the idea of like you want to have their first thing. They want to feel unsuccessful or something because they want to have a journey or something. But I just thought like the whole thing with the dog felt like we're spending a lot of time on your secret life of pets, whatever, like template bullshit. That
Oh, I'm glad you also had the same thought. For a
I
second, I
was
was
like,
like,
do you
"What
just
movie am I
have these
watching?"
assets like yeah
Yeah.
in your stockpile? Because like
Just that one
what house
animator's
is
like,
this?
I worked so hard on this dog. He's got like a 10-page backstory. I animated
Yeah,
the hair on his little dog tummy.
like there are
In
dogs in Mario you could have used. You could have used Poochie or made it a Poochie reference, but instead it's like this incredibly. It looks like an evil version of Doug from Up, and I'm like, why did they pick a golden to do that? Like, I don't understand anything
Why
about
didn't
this.
they just do the Duck Hunt dog?
Oh my god, that's such a better fix. Although I think that dog is more mischievous than evil. I just don't understand why they've made a villainous dog at all. It just seems like such a weird choice.
He should have been the
Um,
big bad evil guy instead of Bowser.
that would be funny. Uh, let's see. Yeah, the pacing is just too fast. We've talked about it enough, and I thought like I think there's a lot of when I've heard like writery people talk about this movie, they talk about like it needs to be more story in like there's moments for these story. I find it a little forced when I can feel someone's like story outline from Save the Cat like happening in the movie beat by beat. I find it a little formulaic. So I'm not as like interested in like necessarily seeing Toad have an emotional journey or something like that, but like a little more, just like a little like what are the parameters of this character. So I it's like he's like Mario's my best friend. It's like okay, that's funny, but like where does that come from? Is it just random that he's saying that? Like I don't. And I would say like you set up all this stuff with Luigi, and it's like first beat, he's in this place, he's terrified. It's like Luigi's mansion. Second beat, he's captured, he's terrified, he's scared what happens. Third beat, he's scared, he's captured, and then there's a Luma, and that's kind of funny and weird. And like I feel like the Luma is one of the the more risky elements. I'm like, why is this thing so suicidal? This is like kind of fucked for how like safe everything else is. But I I just wanted like a second beat where like this is your B story, right? Like Luigi's your B story here. He should learn how to be courageous rather than just being not courageous, not courageous, not courageous, suddenly courageous at the end. Like, where's that? He's like in the cages, he's interacting with other characters, and just no story happens for him. He just suddenly is like, well, we're brothers, right? It's that thing you said at the beginning. It's like, yeah, but like you didn't go through any, like, there's no teachable moment that got you there.
He did the classic anime life lesson through flashback, dude. That's all you.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, right. Yeah, he thought about the past, and yeah, that also the Wrecking Crew guy. Like it's like of all the games to be referencing, such a weird.
Do you want to know the weirder part about that? Like Spike, the Wrecking Crew guy.
Yeah.
That's Hungrybox, who was one of the best Melee players back in the day.
Really?
It's Hungrybox.
Cool.
Ed hasn't seen the movie, so I can say it.
Yeah.
The reason Ed's not here is because he doesn't like Nintendo for what they've done to the Smash Bros. Scene. Because he's really, everyone knows this. Ed's big into the Smash Bros.
He doesn't hide it.
He doesn't hide it. If anyone remembers our April Fool's Day gag, he and I both went to a Smash Bros. Tournament on April Fool's Day, like the big one. I met MK Leo. That was awesome. But yeah, he didn't want to be there. He's like, oh, I heard Hungrybox was in the movie. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I had to Google who it was. I'm like, oh, that was him. Okay, that's so weird.
He was a good actor. He was good in the movie.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He did a really good job.
I mean,
it wasn't like I wasn't like, who's the bad, awful actor who did, that's what you want if you're not.
He's a good actor. I don't want to say this. I met him. I don't want to be mean, but like I saw him.
He's super cool, and
he's nice. No, he has a thing where like people accuse him of like faking his little pop offs and getting excited. Like he kind of overdoes it.
So, whoa! He would be the first online personality to do that.
Oh, I know. I know.
What? Let's go! Like every single fucking one. Like I do it now too, because it's like you need clips. Like they all fucking. It's like that's what little kids like. They like to see overreactions. And
for sure. Yeah. No, I'm not judging him. I'm just saying like there is a thing of like.
I'm just saying like they all do. like it's not. Like,
I mean, if it works, it works. Yeah,
it works.
Yeah, it's.
But that kept Markiplier fed for a good many years. Very well fed.
Right. And PewDiePie and all those guys. But yeah, I guess my dislikes are more that it didn't have any depth whatsoever. It was what it was. It was that theme park ride, and I thought it was a good theme park ride, but it lacked. Like when it lacked those big swings that Pixar is always taking, and when they achieve, you're like, oh, transcendence, and then when they miss, it's sort of like, that was okay, but it's like at least they tried. And this movie, like we said, it just didn't. It was like either running out of time, wanted to be cheap, or just didn't want to be. This isn't really a like or a dislike, but it was significantly weird how much of the setup and ending was exactly like the '90s Bob Hoskins movie, like starting it in Brooklyn as plumbers. They go through a portal, and it's like I mean, of course, the Mushroom Kingdom representation is different and much better in this version, but like
you don't like Blade Runner in your Mario, dude.
I mean, that is a mighty insult to Blade Runner. That's like you're going on the MGM backstage tour and someone put snot everywhere. That's the Mario from the '90s one. Kolar and I watched that one. It's rough. It's still rough.
Yeah, I almost feel like that first bit was like an Easter egg to the original Mario movie.
Yeah,
right. Which would be a weird thing to like reference, because like Nintendo is so ashamed of it that they waited this long to like make another movie. But yeah, and I think like the overarching thing is I'm glad this movie is successful, because I hope it means that we'll see more loving adaptations. Between this and Last of Us, I'm hoping video game adaptations are out of their really rough adolescence.
Have you seen the
Um,
Sonic movies?
I've seen the first one and I liked it. Kolar and I watched that one. That was fun. I haven't seen the second one yet, but I will see it. Um, in terms of fixes, uh, yeah, I mean, I think the fixes that Ruthie came up with are better than anything I could necessarily come up with
Nah, come
off the
on.
top of the head. No, just because like that's more thoughtful than I was being. I think like in terms of pacing, I would say just yeah, like we said, it's the same thing over and over again. Just slow down and give each scene a little bit more of like let's get to know each individual person. Like I thought like you mentioned the moment in your summary where DK and Mario are like, yeah, we both have a thing with our dads. I was like, that's an interesting idea because Mario doesn't really canonically have a dad in the games, but Donkey Kong definitely has a an abusive relationship with Cranky Kong. And I think I agree with Video Game Donkey on the representation of Cranky Kong was really stupid. And Cranky Kong is a really great character. And they just sort of like made him, I don't know, just like a worse version of that.
It really
Um,
was.
and it was weird to like hear Diddy Kong speak and then like it's like,
Right?
oh, so you're casting him, but then you're not. Like, what if you want to change how he is in the movie? Like, are you
That
crazy?
other Kong who
uh
I always forget from DK64, wasn't he voiced too?
Chunky Kong, I think,
Donkey
or
Kong, yeah.
Kitty Kong,
Yeah.
depending on, because Kitty was in 3 and Chunky's in 4. But like I think I would love a DK movie. I think it's weird that that the Kong army is such a point of this thing, because that's like never been a thing in any of the lore. Like they have this, like Donkey Kong Country isn't just like a fun island. It's like it's in like an Aztec kingdom where they have an army and like uh
And cars for some reason.
yeah, it was just like we need to get into carts. That's part of the ride. We need to reference that in here, and I'm fine with that because like
And you
fun.
need to
It's like,
play
oh yeah,
Take
of
On
course,
Me so you
Rainbow
can get that
Road.
I
80s.
am so angry at that scene because like can I go on a rant? I'm gonna give my
Go for it.
Go ape
okay.
shit.
Go ape shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Go Kong shit. So here's what happened. They already made a song for that scene. Someone got leaked footage and interspliced the song. I've heard it. I listened to the entire soundtrack for this movie like the day after I watched it. And like it matches. But no, their place will Take On Me because Illumination's like, we need licensed music for some reason. I don't.
Yeah, the song choices that were not the instrumental renditions were so stupid. Thunderstruck. It was just like
I
it
stand
was
by
like
Thunderstruck. I felt like that was good.
I didn't even
I
tell it was
mean,
Thunderstruck because it was just the instrumentals. For some reason, it didn't click.
I liked the
I
Thunderstruck.
I mean I like that song, but at the same time, it just felt like someone was like throwing at a dartboard of the stuff they had on in the like it felt like again very yeah, I mean, okay, so like Guardians of the Galaxy has
Mhm.
like big songs too, but it for
The
some
mix,
reason it feels
yeah.
like a more handcrafted mixtape for you with everything going together. This felt like, well, for this moment it felt like very like 2000s animated movie, like we need a big thing because they did that in Shrek, so put it in this Shark Tale. It just felt like a little too, for what Mario is, and sort of like in terms of like the innocence and like Disneyness of it, it felt just a little too leaning into Illumination
That's
and
fair.
less
No,
into
completely.
Nintendo. That's why I would be so excited to see like the Japanese cut, because I'm like, I want to know what the vibe of that movie is and if it's paced any differently or if it's
I think it's just like a script, not like the actual timings. They just changed the lines.
even if there's like a couple seconds here and there, it could change things. Because I mean, like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you? I don't know. It sounds interesting to me.
No, same here.
Yeah, like I said, give Luigi slightly more. Um, maybe give Bowser a reason to like Peach, or a specific vision, to see a specific vision of the future. I think all that stuff is good. You could just build out a little bit of this stuff. I think stick Yoshi in this movie. There's no real reason he's not in the movie. He's not like he doesn't have to talk, so it's weird that he's just like not there.
They're riding
Yeah,
a carriage driven by Yoshi, and then they find out like near the end, like, Madam, wait, you can understand us, Madam.
Wait, can you understand us? I don't know.
How the heck are they going to do another Yoshi movie considering his whole backstory is in Yoshi's Island? That's Sorry, that's been my biggest thought. I'm like, how?
You know what I've realized halfway through recording?
What?
The Mario Brothers commercial implies that Mario is their last name,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
Mario is
His name is
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, no, that's been a thing for years. People making that joke for years.
Okay, I didn't know that.
No, that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine. No,
that's
no. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the existential dread club. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it. His name is Mario, and Luigi's name is Luigi Mario. They are the Mario brothers.
His name's Green Mario, dude.
I'm sorry, Green Mario.
Oh, you've read the comic too. Okay.
Yeah, that's a better representation of their family than anything else. But yeah, I don't think you would need. I think like you need a script punch up that gives everybody a little bit of that. Oh, it's just I feel like this should have been my biggest thing, but it's not funny. Like I think I laughed a couple times, like ha ha ha. It's clever in the way that Koopa Troopa bounced or something, you know. Like I laughed with delight, but I can't think of a line in the movie where I was like, oh, that's as funny as any individual line from Toy Story or something. You know what I mean? Like
the DK shitting on Mario's relationship with his dad bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great bit, but like, I don't know. You know, it's a little light bulb that blinks. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
I see what you're saying now.
there's no like funny line or even thing that I can really quote. There's no even like Wally just saying Wally or squirrel. Like there's no skadoosh. There's no ka-chow. There's no like maybe mom yeah in slow motion was kind of funny, but like it just feels like there's nothing in this movie where I'm like the script it felt like a script that was written to hit a page count in final draft. And
Yeah, it's almost like the
that
laughs are out of obligation because that's where the joke is supposed to be. Like
it's
it's
like
expecting a social contract of laughing.
How big was your theater when you watched it, Shore?
yeah, I was the only one there. And it was like 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. And I was like, okay, I have these free passes for the crappy movie theater nearby. I'm going to go. I'm the only one in there. And I was like enjoying it. I was like putting my feet up. And I'm like having a good time. Like it wasn't the packed experience of everyone with delight at every little moment. But I actually hate
like
that
D&D.
experience.
Yeah.
That's sort of, I hate that experience. Everyone's all about like, I don't want to hear people loudly having their emotions nearby. I'm not interested in other people on a fundamental level.
We saw an early screening of D&D, and my God, I didn't realize how many D&D nerds there were in our small town. Because, like, God damn.
It was so packed, and we got there like a minute late. Like, if you've seen the movie, the part where the Minotaur gets into the prison, that's where I sat down, and the Hector came in like 30 seconds later. And
Gotcha.
we had to like elbow our way into the seats.
Yeah, no. And like people, as soon as the Dragonborn popped up, they're like, oh, it's a Dragonborn. I'm like, okay, yeah, please don't do this the entire movie.
And they did.
They did.
Yeah, that's exactly like that's BB-8 for your first screening of Force Awakens. Like that experience is like why I hate why I hate us geeks. Because like that's like it's like you're not winning anything, you're not earning real life points by knowing this 50 seconds. It's because you didn't have the self-control to wait until you sat in the seat to learn the information early.
Did you see Endgame or No Way Home opening week night?
I mean, I did like, okay, there are certain movies that I do like the experience of, because I think seeing what's the first Infinity War, seeing the snap moment in Infinity War with an audience and everyone just having the life sucked out of them, that was, I mean, in the audience, I mean, like,
yeah,
and just being shocked. And like I was with my mom and dad at that point. My mom's like, well, what's gonna happen, like having no knowledge of like comic books and how no one's everyone's coming back, like these people like my parents' age experiencing like just comic book culture really for the first time, and how these big events are gonna happen. Everyone's gonna get their spines ripped out by somebody at some point, right? So like that's really special. And like I remember seeing District 9 the first time, and no one knew what it was, like the opening weekend, and we were all like, oh well, that was interesting. Like I didn't expect any of that, I had no idea. And like seeing The Ring opening weekend, when we were all like, what's this even about? And we're like, oh, we're all freaking out in the seats. Like those are special experiences. I often lament the fact that I I can't like wipe my mind and travel back in time to an opening night screening of Alien and seeing the thing pop out of the chest and being like, oh my God, like how much that would destroy my mind. But like, the thing I don't like is the, hey, did you know that's that thing? And it's just like that, like smug stupid, like it's just like so stupid. It's like, go home. You don't deserve to be here.
That
Yeah.
happened to me years ago. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, in case no one could tell. I have a tattoo of Lord of the Rings. During the
Gotcha.
Hobbit trilogy, I went to go see it with my friends, and the guy behind us brought another of his buddies who apparently has never seen the original
Oh
trilogy.
no.
And
Oh wow.
in the particular, I think it was the middle one of the Hobbit trilogy, where Gandalf, Sauron, and the elves are fighting against the I don't think at the time it was the ring wraiths. They were fighting some evil force, and the
Mhm.
guy behind me leans over to his buddy and starts describing Sauron as they're fighting. It's like, my God, man, shut up! Don't bring him to the movie if he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I have snapped at people for less. Like, ask Ruthie. She's seen me do it many, many times. I will look at people.
And I am that smug bastard. When Hector and I watch Lord of the Rings, I absolutely do the lean
I
over,
can't-
like, did you know Viggo Mortensen broke his toe during that scene? Did you know Viggo
Yeah,
Mortensen?
but that's because you're a fan of the thing and you're watching, I assume, at home and not doing that in the theater, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's a difference there. It's a different thing than to be like, I love this movie so much and I want to share it with you and tell you every little thing about it because I'm a true fan. My problem is not that. It is I don't care if it's the 50th time everyone's seen that and we're all quoting the movie along. I think that's fun. I would love to sing along with The Lion King with a theater full of nerds. But my problem is it's opening day of the movie and you have studied every website about the movie before it came out and you are being like, I knew that was going to happen because I already read that it was going to happen because there was a photo shoot of them in New York filming the scene. So, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
like the Marvel leak bros. That
yeah,
does drive me crazy.
it's just like, I don't, just wait till it fucking comes out. Like, there's so much entertainment right here. Watch a fucking Fellini movie until it comes out and just relax. Like, don't stop. Like, have self. And I'm always like that with gamers too, because it's always like, yeah, I already have it, but this is in a different box. I'm like, you don't need more boxes. Just stop. Like, calm down. Like, you're the reason we can't get a Pokemon game that works. Stop buying this garbage. Like,
Quit calling
they're
me
gonna
out.
make
Okay?
more
I bought Hollow Knight.
Pikachus because of you son of a bitch.
I have
You
paid for Hollow
ruined
Knight
it.
4 separate times. In my defense,
Ugh.
3 of them were for different people. But still,
Wait.
like
Wait, what did you say about Hollow Knight?
I've bought 4 copies of it. 3.
Oh, yeah, but that's good. That's like our Bible. That's like,
It
have
is,
you
it
heard the
is.
good news? That's not the same thing. That's like spreading the good word. Okay, that's one of those things where if someone's like, that's just like my tick too, because it's like, I mean, I have a Hollow Knight hoodie. I think you've seen it.
We've seen it.
When people see it, they come up to me, they gravitate to me, and I love it. And they're like, we love that game. I'm like, yes, the zipper is the nail. And they're like, oh, and they get so happy. And it's like a moment. Like, I assume that's how very religious people feel when it's like, yeah, John 3:16. Yeah, that's my license plate. You know, like, I'm like, okay, I get that.
Matt, we were raised in a Christian school. They're not off.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah,
I went to Catholic school,
yep.
so I understand.
Like,
it's like, oh yeah, I went to a lot of Catholic school.
Yeah, we were born in the blood, raised by it.
Yeah,
men by blood.
The bane of Catholic schools.
God, I hope like super hardcore Christians never start like getting into Bloodborne. Otherwise,
Well, did you know that Bane is Christian, and that's why they cast Christian Bale, because it's something. I don't know. Someone else finished that joke for me. But yeah, I think that's it. I have a lot of like little things. I didn't think it was that bad. My expectations were so low. I thought it was going to suck. I don't really like Illumination movies. I think it is, and
same.
I don't have like if I would go, you know, like Disney, then DreamWorks, then if I have to Illumination, and then like Spider-Verse is on this amazing immaculate cloud above them all, and I'm just shooting webs and everything.
I'm about to say where's Sony Animations going, because they're the ones who did it.
Oh, Spider-Verse is so good.
I can't wait for the sequel, dude.
I
I'm
I feel
going.
like
know.
Illumination's
It's so
only
good.
on the board because it's got a name that I remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a great name. Great name.
It's
And
a great
Minions is
Yeah,
super
no, the brand,
popular.
immaculate. But at the same time, like, yeah, I wish I knew
Despicable Me is
more
pretty
studios so I
likable.
could.
I like 1 and 2. I haven't seen the other two, but like,
Uh,
And A Secret Life of Pets was great until they got rid of Louis C.K., who did nothing wrong. Come on. You guys have told me this in private. You both agree. Nothing. I'm just kidding. No, he sucks. He really let me down. He really let down bald guys everywhere. Uh, but yeah, that's mine. That's mine.
Hector, before you go, may I ask? Sure, since you like have done actual professional big boy writing, and we are
Mm.
but amateurs here, you said you wanted to like give characters like stories. If you could like pick a character, what story would you give them? Like, how would Luigi like get a story arc or like a character arc? I'm
You know,
curious.
I appreciate you saying that, but I honestly, when you said the thing about Princess and Mario and their relationship and Mario and the lore and stuff like that, and how he fits in. I thought that was such a really brilliant. Like, I'm not without gassing you up and just being like, "Oh, that's so good." Oh yeah, and just like I thought that was legit, very good, and that was clever. It was something I hadn't thought about because I don't. I think functionally though, what's I haven't thought of anything that's that thought out and articulated and contains the arc in itself. But I think functionally, what you want is a scene in the cages when Luigi's in the cages with the other people, and for him to have a conversation with one of the other characters in the cages while they're there. That is like, oh, we're doomed. Some some plumber isn't gonna get us out of here. We're screwed. And he's like, hey, that's my brother. He's great. And it's like, what? He's like you, a complete wuss or some crap like that, and it's like, and he's like, then he thinks about it. I mean, I don't know if that exactly happens, but like something that uh it felt like there was no as Mario is, even though it's happening like way too fast, and it's like Mario starts off like, well, I gotta save my brother no matter what, so I gotta do this course, and then I'm gonna just suddenly decide I'm gonna fight Donkey Kong, which seems like a crazy choice in this universe. Like it just happens. It crazily happens
It
fast.
happens
I was
because the
like,
plot demands it. Yeah.
exactly. It's one of those things and that's sort of how it happens with Luigi in the manhole cover later. It's like he needs to do this because he needs to do this. Functionally, this is
no,
the
it's
moment in
because
the
he's the
story he
better
has this.
brother, and his
He's the
cowardice is his
superior,
only.
taller brother who
And,
should just eat the other one and
My
dominate.
weakness is strong. Um, yeah, I mean, I thought like I don't know. I think it's that the problem is that we know so little about them personality wise. It's like I think what was good about your read it's like Mario, you just need to learn patience or something like that. Like at least then we'd know something about him, because it's like that thing at like beginning of Back to the Future. It's like, Marty, you're always late. And he's like, he's about to be later than he's ever been. He's gonna be all the way back in time. It's like we need something about this character that goes beyond he's plucky. We need something that's like a little
Mhm.
bit more like what is this character's personality about? Like we need that's what we functionally need, because to me what's doing the legwork is nostalgia. I'm like, I know these characters, I know functionally how they are, so just seeing Bowser sing a song is delightful to me, because I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that exact thing, and I can so the movie isn't doing any characterization, so like you read like the reviews by like elderly film critics who are like, all of these zany glip glops might as well be dropping their Tetris blocks on someone's head for all I know. Like they sound like they're in another dimension, like they are just
yeah,
decaying
Mhm.
bones who have never heard of this shit. It's like this has been around for like 40 plus years. Like
yeah,
get your shit together, stop acting like this. But like the movie doesn't do them any favors. Like it's like actively aggressively not for them in a way where it's like, we don't have time to make you care about these people in the way that you care about the old man in Up,
Mhm.
or you care about the little kid. It's like Pixar does those effortless, this is why you love them. It does those moments so well, or at least it has traditionally.
Mhm.
um and this movie is just like, you love them because they're products you recognize, you idiot, keep watching. And I think to build them out in, and I don't know, it's a hard, I think the reason why your read on it, Ruthie, is so good is because you're not mired in all these feelings of nostalgia. Like, to me, that's like
Yeah.
asking me, how do you make Mickey Mouse charismatic? And I'm like, shit, let me unpack my entire childhood first, and
You
then
just
I'll get
asked
back.
Matt and Trey to do it.
Who
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Mickey Mouse?
You gotta shut the fuck up when I tell you to.
But like, yeah, I think it's really hard, and I think that's why this movie actively avoided doing it, because it's hard
Yeah.
and it's complex, and it would require having a
That's
specific
fair.
choice. Whereas it's way easier to be like, yeah, he's just Mario, okay? People like him, so you'll like him, and that's it.
You've already spent a shit ton of money. You'll spend more.
Also,
Fuck you.
like, as much as I love your Nintendo idea, like your speedrunning idea, I'm pretty
I
sure
love that.
Nintendo hates speedrunners up until Odyssey.
that did pop up to me too, because you heard about like a Nuzlocke is a thing in Pokemon where
Yes.
you play Pokemon in a specific way where if one of your Pokemon faints, you have to release them, like to pantomime them being dead. And so it's like it's a hard way to make Pokemon more challenging. It's a hard way to play the game. And a couple that worked at Nintendo is like, who did publicity, was like, maybe we should do a Nuzlocke for like charity or something like that. And Nintendo fired them because they like wouldn't speak to them for like a week, because they're like, we don't know what this hacking you're talking about is. Like, they're so restrictive of what you can do with their stuff.
Really great at just making the worst decisions with their business.
Did you hear did you hear about the dude recently who isn't just getting arrested?
He's giving alimony to Nintendo for the rest of his life.
30% of his
some of it
paycheck
goes to the Pinkertons, and that's okay, 'cause they're respectable guys.
No, wrong Megacorp, sure. Wrong Megacorp.
Sorry.
No.
I forgot. I was thinking of one of the ones that isn't completely evil. God.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's a hard challenge. That's why I think I give it, it's a good 7 out of 10 movie. Like, it did what it set out to do. It actively avoided doing any more, and then it ran away. And it's like, okay, I can get that. And give it to a really good writer. I bet Taika Waititi could write a funny Mario movie. You know what I mean? Like, his goofy sense of humor in there. Mario and Luigi are gay pirates now. That could be something. So.
Honestly, if you want to do one with music, Edgar Wright.
Ooh, yeah, no, he'd be.
Oh my god! Think how fast paced that would be, though.
Yeah,
like all of the frenetic Requiem for a Dream.
But he's followable.
He takes his time, though. He does let characters breathe.
Yeah.
He just
Edgar Wright. He did do Last Night in Soho,
like
right?
Yes.
The one I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah. No. And he did Hot Fuzz and the other one. That. What?
Princess Peach is in.
Oh yeah.
So it all comes full circle. Full mushroom.
No, if you want the worst one for an animated film, you get Gendy Tarkovsky.
Ooh.
Oh.
For Mario, because he has experience with animated films.
Angular Mario.
Oh, I was gonna say Zack Schneider. For a Mario movie,
that's pretty much
make it
what we got
desaturated, make it really dark.
That would be so fun. I did like that SNL parody they did with like the grim, dark, post-apocalyptic Mario movie. I thought that was
with Last of Us.
that was fun. That was really fun. Yeah. Why don't you go, Hector?
Okay. So I'm not gonna lie, Shore, you kind of touched on one of my fixes. So.
Oh, really?
Yes, you did. Let's see if I can. But it also gave me some inspiration to kind of finish it, because I couldn't figure out the last bit. Nice.
I love it when that happens. Like,
yeah.
Shit. How am I going to say this? Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh,
I like
that.
I see. I noticed that Hector was like, in a previous episode I listened to, was like, oh, I want to go first because I don't want you to steal mine. I want it to be original. And I'm like, does that really matter? Because like I'm in the opposite, where I'm like, I want you to say the exact thing that I'm about to say so I can be like, yes, we have the same brain. But I think that's the improv side of me that wants to be like, yes, same brain.
I think if it's the episode I'm thinking of, I spent like way too long trying to think of something, and I finally had something.
Which episode? They all kind of like
Men in Black. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was like, I spent a little. Oh, the Men in Black. No, I wanted to get it out because I thought.
Oh, he'd had the idea for years.
Yeah,
we saw it in
fix.
Like I told her, like, sorry.
Yeah, well, you set it up in you basically made a really cogent argument that the movie sets up a twist that it does not deliver, and then you were sitting there being like, "Wait, so what's the twist?" And then there like barely was one, and you're like, "Oh, I guess Qui-Gon's the bad guy."
Yeah.
That's
Well,
it.
and like we saw this in theaters. Like when he told me his fix, it was before reshoot. Like I don't know
I
how
told
to
her
emphasize.
I told her the
Wow.
day
Yeah.
on our way out of the movie theater. I
Yeah,
was
and the
just
movie came
like,
out like 2018, 2019.
yeah. I was just like, no, I think this is like, wait, why didn't this happen? Because it was setting up this. This is really weird. And usually when I'm watching a movie, I'm not thinking, I'm just observing. So like, I don't
Sometimes when
know.
that happens, I think it's like a rewrite issue. You know,
That's what I
it's like
said. I think that's what I said in the episode. I was like, it feels like a rewrite. Like
it feels
Sony
like
did.
you're feeling a different first act from a different draft, and then you're
Mhm.
laying
Yeah.
on a new
Like,
third act, and you're like, what just happened?
Like Hitchcock. Or no, Hancock.
Hancock. That one's two different movies.
Yeah.
Though.
Hancock, yeah. But like, this is to compare that to Mario. It's like Mario doesn't really have any failed passes because it doesn't make any passes. It's too scared to make passes. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, it plays it too safe.
It is too like the only thing that it making a pass is like Diddy Kong exists. Okay, never mention him again for the rest of the. It's like, is that okay that we mentioned? It's like, yeah, we know who Diddy. Like, just relax, dude. It's not that high stakes.
So yeah, like Shore was saying, also like the score. That's my first big like. Brian Tyler, great job adding his own spin to Koji Kondo's music. Just it's the MVP. Like if you listen to it, like sometimes when Mario shoots fireballs, that sound from the game is in the hidden throughout the one of the songs. It there's just stuff like that. The Superstar song, you know, like da, 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 when they get the star.
Yeah.
It's hidden all throughout the track. They play it little by little, subtly in the movie. So it builds up, and it's trying to help trick your brain to like building up Mario and Luigi later on. So then it feels extra earned. It's like you're saying. It's like it's trying to get the emotions or the character motivation, character growth, but through the music more than the.
Yeah, it nailed it. I thought.
The music was the MVP. Jack Black and King Michael Key were the biggest surprises. I love Toad. You know.
Yeah! Launch the
nukes! You've seen Game Grumps, you know.
Sure, I'll have to post that on your Discord. It's hilarious.
It's really funny. That was, I don't know. Everyone's giving Jack Black his flowers, and he deserves it. King Michael Key deserves some praise. I know this is the biggest critique, and this is one of my biggest critiques. The movie's almost nothing but Easter eggs, but my god, I love the Easter eggs. Like Luigi's cell phone ringtone being the GameCube startup. The underground, when they're underground, the music from 2-1's playing, and Rise I was like, wait, this is 2-1, and then they show the 2-1 on the very far corner. It's, I don't know, it was exciting. The animation's like really good and fluid throughout. Like I was waiting to get just kind of boring moments here and there, but like the movie kept going with like the action, and I'm like, oh wow. Like, how did they do this? Did Nintendo pay for it? And then, Nintendo paid for half of the $10 million budget.
Sweet co-op money.
So, yeah, it's not... So I said, I think 500,000? No. Sorry, my mistake. They paid $5 million. And Nintendo's making its money back. More than enough. I think a lot of characters, other than Luigi, used at least one of their moves from Smash Bros. Like, Donkey Kong did his dash attack when he's rolling towards Mario. Mario used his fucking forward aerial that has spiked me to death so many times playing online.
Well, and the battleground that they used, it kind of reminded me of Smash Bros. When Donkey and Mario were fighting. Because it is like the one flat line, because technically it's like 2.5D.
It should have been. Yeah.
You didn't think of that?
No, I didn't think of that one.
I thought you were trying to imply that too.
No.
I'm giving you the credit.
Thank you. No, but that's a really good point.
Actually, it was my idea. I'm taking retconning the credit for it.
Thank you, Shore. I'm covering Ruthie's mouth right now. Thank you, Shore.
You're welcome.
My dislikes. Jesus Christ, Illumination, just breathe. Like, on the other dislike, my man Luigi, like he's my like since I was 6, I've loved playing Luigi. I had Super Mario Brothers World on the Game Boy, and I always had Luigi. Always had Luigi. Ask anyone. Love Luigi. One moment to shine. Although it also proves that he's already better than Mario because he can already do everything without training. So
He didn't get the montage.
he didn't get the montage. He didn't need the montage.
No, the montage needed him.
Heck,
honestly.
even at the end when he's jumping into the pipe, he has his hands behind his back. This is nothing to him.
Mm-hmm. The real Sigma, Luigi.
What did they call the Kong Land? Was it Kong Land or Kong Mountain? Because they should have fucking called it Kong Country. That legit bothered me so much. I'm like, why isn't it Kong Country? This is just a missed opportunity.
As long as I don't call it Cranky Kong Country.
I would have liked that.
Technically, Cranky Kong is, I think, supposed to be the original Donkey Kong from the game Donkey Kong, so it being called Cranky Kong Country tracks.
Which makes even less sense in a universe where there is no Donkey Kong game. Like, I guess maybe
no,
that's
there
why
is. No. Donkey. It was there. It was called Jumpman. It was in the very beginning behind Charles Martinet.
Wait, that makes even less sense.
Maybe Cranky and Donkey are more like titles.
I know it does.
Maybe it's like a social construct thing.
Maybe.
You're just trying to get your Zelda theory in again. There's many donkeys, and there's many...
Shoehorn it everywhere I can.
What's funny is that is true of the Toads. Like, there's many Toads. His name is Toad, but they're all Toad. We are all Toad. They are all Borg.
What happened to fucking Toadsworth? They had one smart Toad, and it wasn't fucking Toadsworth.
Yeah, that was weird. That was super weird.
Also, technically, wasn't Michael Toad like Captain Toad?
Yes, that's why he didn't jump. Because that's why when he lifted his pickaxe for Peach to pick him up, is because in Captain Toad games he doesn't
Captain
jump.
Toad? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's Captain Toad.
I love Captain Toad. That's a great game.
Yeah, no, I love Captain Toad. I need to play it. I just like Toad. This is a stupid one, but it's just personal, and I don't care. They use so much of the looks and the story from Odyssey, like fucking Bowser's suit. Like it just makes it that we're not getting an Odyssey movie, and I get it. But like, man, I want a Galaxy movie. I want Cappy. Like, maybe you can incorporate him into a Galaxy movie.
This is,
he's one of the planets.
This is a sort of an aside. I wanted to know what you guys thought about this, but I thought it was a real, like, actually one of the only passes I could see to the future besides building up Donkey Kong so much. It's like, you don't cast Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong unless you want to do a Donkey Kong movie at some point, I feel like. And they're already doing a Donkey Kong ride, so I feel like, that's why Diddy's here and stuff like this. But so they're in the I'm obsessed with that, like, Fire Flower Field scene. So, and they're like, because it is interesting to me where they're like, oh wait, Peach is the only human here. She's surrounded by toads, right? And he's like, I come from, maybe where are you from? And she's like, there are many galaxies. There's many worlds out there. And she's looking up, and I'm like, are they saying? Are they saying she might be related to Rosalina? Is that the setup?
She was that was the original idea in the.
Because they look so much alike.
Game.
Like, it would make a lot of sense, right?
I think originally they were gonna have her be like the mom, or the sister was the rumor.
Yeah, I've heard that Rosalina. You told me the sister theory. Game theory suggested. Well, they presented two arguments. One that Peach is Rosalina's mom in the future, and then the other one is that Luigi is Rosalina's dad.
Luigi doesn't fuck. He's too scared. He tried once, and then a Boo bit that Boo dog from Luigi's Mansion 3 bit him in the butt. I refuse to believe in that. I'm sad he didn't get the vacuum. Give him the vacuum. Come on. I know you're probably
that's for they're saving that for an entire movie.
Yeah, but even so, just give him like a dustbuster to call it out. You know what I mean?
Or a feather duster to
yeah. No, that'd be funny.
It would be funny if he sucks up like a Boo with a dustbuster, and then he's like, and then it just comes right out because it's like not a special vacuum, and he's like, ah! Like, I think that'd be good. But that was the thing. So, like, I agree. I think we would get, like, the obvious things you'll get next time are Yoshi, Wario, and maybe the Koopalings, because those would be easy to merchandise. But I feel like doing a Mario Galaxy movie would be visually very a knock out of the park. and Rosalina would probably be cool. And I
Mhm.
feel like
Also, it's like the second most favorite Mario series, right?
I just feel like Cappy is a very fun character that you could have a lot of fun with, and I feel like
Are you really with the transforming?
yeah, I think
And the possessing?
I think like for a third movie or something like that, that would make a lot of sense.
Okay, third movie would
Do you
make
know what I
sense.
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it would be second because I feel like they'd be like, okay, before we see Mario, I guess he already turned into a cat though. I like that. I like that. I liked he got cat suit. Then we got what is that, raccoon suit? I'm pretty sure we got in the
Tanuki
Tanuki.
suit, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I liked seeing all those. It's pretty funny in a movie to hear someone say these are power ups. I'm like, oh my god, I know that's what they're called, but still, it's really funny to me because you'd think they'd just have another name for them. It's like these are magical items or something. I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
These are MacGuffin artifacts.
These are shards of the dead god, Mario. Eat them.
Oh, I'd watch that.
Can I just say that the story save the cat thing I hate the most is mushrooms. I hate mushrooms. I'm like, kill me now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not. It's like maybe it's funny to watch him like blanch at them once, but like the whole mushrooms. How am I ever gonna get to like these things? It's like it reminds me of in Passion of the Christ where they're like a table. When are people ever gonna use this, Jesus? And it's like I'm gonna blast my own brains out before this movie's over. This is horrible. Are you crazy right now? I just hate when it's like that'll never work. It's just fun. I don't know. It just seems like such a corny thing to do. Like it didn't balance out the movie for me in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have one more dislike.
Oh yeah.
Princess Peach is a boss babe and we stand. At the same time though, she makes no mistakes this entire like I guess she's the mentor and like she's supposed to be teaching Mario.
But at the same time,
that God made no mistakes either. I need to be alone for a little while.
I'm not gonna finish it, man. I can't. I lost it.
Peach is so cool. I think that would have. That's like
in my bed, you're gonna rule.
No, yeah, she will rule, and I'll be your naughty turtle sub. I would have. That's like my ideal Mario movie. It's just like it's the same thing as this one, but like whenever it's Bowser, he's like, God, I just want to fuck that human so bad. If I can just fuck a human once in my life, I'll be the happiest turtle in the land. That's the Japanese cut, in my opinion. Why does Bowser keep referencing that she's 16 now, so it's okay? This is a weird movie.
Oh, god damn it, no.
Joker, what is that clock? She's gonna be legal. Batman. She's turning 18.
What are you doing to the bunny? It's just it's an animal Joker. No, it's not. The bunny's not legal, Batman. It's a Pokemon, Batman. There's no laws against Pokemon.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, you're fine.
She's a boss bitch.
Okay, my fix. Honestly, the only mistake she ever does is not being a good diplomat with the Kongs because she doesn't speak their language. She's not speaking their language. All right, fixes. There's a little subplot of Luigi trying to escape. Like maybe he's skinny enough to get out of the first cage, and he tries to free others. And then, like, halfway through, he's, like, kind of fighting. He's jumping and hiding, but it's working. Maybe at one point he, like, tries to duck over something, like a chainsaw. But he's like, he does, like, the side B from Smash Bros. And then, like, breaks a few... Or
wrist muscles.
Knocks around a few... Yeah. Koopas, and he's like, I got this. And then finally he tries with the... What's the wizard's name? I know you know it, sure.
Magic Koopa? Or Kamek?
Yeah. Kamek, thank you. I knew you'd know it. Like, he gets to Kamek, and he's like, rematch. All right, I'm doing the actual Luigi voice. He's like, I can't do Charlie Day. Yeah. He's always like, rematch. Mario. And then he, like, he runs up, right? And then, like, he does, like, the thing, like, like, the thing, and it almost starts to work. He's like, yeah! And then, like, Bowser just picks him up by, like, the scruff of his neck and then throws him back into the cage. And that's, like, a good subplot of, like, him building up the courage.
You just came up
I
with
like
something
that.
I really, really like. Okay, it
Yeah.
also reminded me that Kamek is in the movie, and that I think one of my favorite things in the movie at all was that that scene where it's like he's like practicing, Bowser's practicing his proposal, and Kamek is dressed as Princess Peach, and Kamek is so ready to kiss Bowser, which made me so happy because there's all those web comics of Kamek being like baby Bowser Jr.'s like second dad, and like kind of like the mother figure in that. And I was like, I don't know if they know about this, but it looked like they wanted to spooch, and I fucking love that. But
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what the situation would be since they're stuck in the cages, but you figured it out. You figured it out just now, which is that how about like Luigi has an opportunity to escape, and he's just going to run away, and they're like, what about the rest of us? And he's like, well, I'm not like, yeah. I'll help the rest of you. He's like thinking about what Mario would do, and then maybe he gets himself recaptured while trying or something like that. But he's like learning that
Yeah.
he has the courage to at least try to do the difficult thing, even if he doesn't have the capability quite yet. But like
Yeah.
something where he realizes that his cowardice might be self-preservational, but it could mean that innocent people could be hurt, and that immediately sets up what he does for Mario at the end by throwing himself in harm's way to protect him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
he's like, he can still be a hero even if he's terrified, kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
that'd be something easy you could do right there, and just having him even do a failed prison break would give him some agency in that moment. I think that's like the perfect way of synthesizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. I think a scene where Mario, Peach, and Toad are going to Kong Country, she doesn't look ahead for once. She gets a little too comfortable, and then she gets captured by maybe a piranha, a big piranha plant with a cage, because that's the thing. And then Mario's like, he looks around, he finds a flower that looks like a boomerang,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just starts throwing all the boomerangs. Maybe he like, I was thinking like maybe he besides throwing them, he like runs up on the boomerangs that are coming back towards him, and then he just like forward aerials the. I'm still salty at all the times I've lost the forward aerials. He forward aerials the plant, and then he just goes down. The plant goes
In
down.
order
He
for
rescues her.
Hector to like the movie, the woman has to be in distress, and the man must save her. Go on.
No. In order for Hector to like the movie, it has to be obsessively Smash.
Okay, that's the real non-joke, right?
Yeah, no, that is an actual
So
non-joke.
when Mario is charging
No,
up
I'm
his
giving you shit,
flood,
don't worry.
Donkey Kong will rotate away, also charging up his charge move
Don't
at
forget-
that point. And it's just like
Don't forget the neutral B, the
Yeah.
recover.
No, your neutral game has to. No, if Mario isn't having a good neutral game against Bowser or against DK in this movie, it is literal trash. All right, if he doesn't do a B, and if he doesn't hit it within the third frame, and we will all pay attention to this in the third frame window, the movie is trash.
The movie will also have a pop-up window where Hector is explaining this angrily at the audience while kids are just weeping. And
No, it's Ed. No, I don't get Ed. Ed knows all this so much more.
both of
Legit,
you.
he will
It's
talk with-
Ed correcting you, and then you two arguing over each other. And then you somehow bring up wave birds, and you're fighting. You're using the characters. The characters no longer have agency. You're just controlling them.
No, it's legit. Ed will come over, and the two of them will be playing, and I'll actually be able to talk with them. And like when Hector's playing with his little brother, and Ed will be explaining what's happening to me, except he doesn't explain it in English in Ruthie talk. He will explain it in Smash talk, which means I can understand. I can understand when he's using articles or like maybe a verb occasionally, maybe like a 1 in 5 chance. But yeah,
Wave dash into neutral air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Short hop, quick A, neutral A.
That is literally how he describes it.
AKA how I do my Link. A lot of. Anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of Peach teaching Mario completely on the training course, she teaches him enough. She's like, okay, you're fine, you're good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, throughout the trip, she's teaching him a little more. Maybe she teaches them a speedrun technique. I didn't know you were going to do this.
No,
Right.
I demand that that we see all of the Mario worlds for only 2 seconds each. Yoshi is you only see a glimpse of Yoshi's shadow as it slowly fades into nothingness, and then they just say, "Pay more money." I demand that.
Mario, made by David
DLC for your movie.
You see Yoshi's toe amongst a blade of grass in the opening, and then
Mario, made by Quentin Tarantino.
Wait. Then Dennis, what's his name from Blue Velvet?
Villeneuve?
The guy who plays Koopa in the Mario movie, the '90s one.
I don't know, dude. I've never seen it.
Oh yeah, he's in the Cinephile game. I know who you're talking about. Dennis Hopper.
God damn it! I just remember
Koopa. Yeah, he's in this. He's in. That's the one thing they're missing. Is Bowser should have a dad played by Dennis Hopper, who's just like shitting on him left and right.
No, make Bowser Jr. be Dennis Hopper. Just be funny.
If Bowser Jr. is anyone, it's Zendaya, or I walk out of this podcast right now.
She's already Mishi.
Mishi is Bowser Jr. That's the whole inspiration.
And then it's all sandwiched in together like Zelda.
Is Littlefoot Illumination?
No, it's the same people who did. Okay, I don't know who did Hotel Transylvania because I think it's the same people.
That's
Jenny Tartovsky.
That's Jenny Tartovsky and Adam Sandler, but like which company?
Adam Sandler is Mario. Now that's a movie I would pay so much to see.
That's an opinion right there. That
I'm a Sandler.
That is an opinion.
Till I die. Till I die.
Someone said Danny. Back when we didn't know who's going to be Mario, people were saying Danny DeVito.
Yeah, unironically, I feel like Danny DeVito could do it.
People love Danny DeVito, but he's getting up there. You need a franchise holder like Chris Pratt.
All right. I have one more fix, and I forgot when I wrote this, and now I'm going to look stupid.
Okay.
Make Peach and Bowser use more of their Smash moves when fighting.
and
I actually gave examples, too. I gave examples. You know when Peach, she does the course, and then she does like a karate kick at the Bowser?
Yes, yeah.
Missed opportunity to just do the side B, where she just does the hip bump.
Yeah.
And breaks through
has
it.
A little like heart or whatever pop out. I will say that I did love when that wonderfully animated sequence where you mentioned it during the synopsis, Mario and DK come back to the Mushroom Kingdom and they're like bopping everybody and doing their trademark Mario stuff. And Mario does the spin jump. It's just like, that feels good. That feels right in my nostalgia. Yeah, that's a good jump. That's a good jump.
Felt right.
Mm-hmm.
I also had one more for Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
When he's fighting Mario at the end, he'll grab him at one point, and then he'll like throw him up in the air, and then he does the spiky up throw, where it's like, and then he grabs, and then he punches him or kicks. Then he does like a kick as he's coming down, and that sends him flying. And then that's when
he's like, he's about to kill Mario. Like he's got him on the ground, and he's about to punch him, and he's like, "So long, gay Mario," and everyone's like, "Oh, he finally said it back." That would be an important moment.
No. What happens is he's like, "So long, gay Mario," and then Mario goes, "I am Iron Man," and he snaps.
And he Mario's all over the place.
He starts morphing everywhere.
Mario's everywhere.
Super Morbio Brothers. Has that been done yet? We gotta make this movie, you guys.
That was Ruthie's fix.
Really?
That was Ruthie's fix for Morbius.
Super Morbio.
You'll see. But
wait,
like,
you
gotta listen to it.
That's like an Ouroboros of which am I not going to do first? Because I'll be like, well, I should probably watch the movie first. Well, I am never going to do that, so maybe I should listen to the podcast. No, I should watch. No, I'm not gonna. So it's just gonna be
whichever's fair. I get it.
Because you get
we had to watch.
It's not even fun bad, right? It's just like gray and blue and boring,
it's really,
right?
Yeah,
I hate.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the Venoms. I gotta see those Venoms.
I need to see Venom. I've heard it's a good rom-com.
They're fun. You know what's stupid? They announced the Craven movie, right? Same universe.
Frustrates me so much.
No. The Craven movie is going to be rated R.
Right, but like, why is there a Craven
movie? But why
movie?
didn't you do it for Venom?
Like, you're telling me you got all these guys, right? And you're like, well, I definitely don't want to see a Dr. Octopus movie. Craven, please. I'm like, god damn it.
You know what's stupid? You know what's the worst part? Superior Spider-Man is when Doc Ock takes over Peter's body.
Right. I started reading
and
those.
Peter and yeah, no, just do that. Just do other Spider-Men that aren't Peter. You can easily do it. Especially now with multiverse being a thing, you can easily just have like another Spider-Man you follow. It's not hard. Do a fucking Spider-Man noir. It's so
Can we
easy.
get back to the
Spider-Man
Aunt
Noir
May
would be
movie, please? The movie.
Which part? The part where she sleeps with Peter's dad, and they basically play swingers, and then it's revealed that Aunt May is actually Peter's
I
mom, but
knew
they
it.
keep it a secret.
And Uncle Ben
That's an
was
actual
Aunt
comic.
Brother.
That's an actual comic. I'm not
Really?
making this shit up. It was an actual comic.
Yeah, no, you could say nothing about Spider-Man, and I would be like, "That's fake." Hector genuinely, he could tell me anything, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's
It was
a Spider-Man
retcon,
comic."
but it was a real thing for a
Who's
bit.
the new guy that everyone hates in the Spider-Man comics?
Paul.
Right?
Paul.
He should be the lead. Spider-Boy should be the lead of the next movie, inexplicably.
There is an actual Spider-Boy
know.
now.
I
That
know.
was
That,
recent.
they should
Thanks to Spider-Geddon.
They should do that. They should just inexplicably do that and not explain it. And then if anyone complains, they just scream multiverse and start morbing all over them.
All right, grades. Out of letter grades for this movie. C+, B- for me. It's average. Actually, C+. It's average.
D+.
Ooh,
That's brutal.
that's a spicy fireball.
That's a spicy
I'm gonna
firefly.
say I'm gonna say B- because
You're fanboying all over the place, Shore.
because my expectations were so low. I guess I also don't know like what is Men in Black International, because for me that's like as okay, if the worst movie I've probably ever seen is The Spirit. So
I'm gonna put that on our list.
don't give me hope.
No, if he says don't, then maybe we shouldn't.
It's so. I mean, it's frustrating. It's when you can't remember what happened in a movie, but you remember the headache you have. It's one of those movies.
Yeah.
Ad Astra. Ad Astra.
Yeah.
The worst part is I watched it with Ed. I complained about it for days, for weeks with Ed. He's laughing at the whole thing, saying he liked it. I thought he still liked it. He picks it for the podcast, making poor Ruthie have to join and making me watch a second time.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes in, and I'm like, please tell me we're like halfway. And then we pause it. And I'm like, God damn it, they're still on Earth.
Don't ever watch Ad Astra. It is the most boring movie of all time. The trailers lie to you, by the way. There's a scene of him smiling. He never smiles once in the goddamn
it's
film.
so depressing.
The funny thing is, I came home that night, right? I still with my parents at the time. I came home that night. A movie about father issues. I have the worst fight with my dad I'd had in months.
The movie made it happen.
The movie made it happen.
I don't even think I know this movie. I'm looking it up now. Oh, it's pretty well regarded on.
No, it's not. Sure, not for, only from like
Yeah,
the snooty high class. I'm talking like the high class critics.
On
Like
Rotten
your New
Tomatoes,
Yorker
83%. On Metacritic, 80%.
What's the audience score? Sure,
6.2, which is surprisingly high based on how much you hate it. Right?
Yeah,
it's
It's not that I hate it. It's better a second
I'm not
time,
saying it's
but not
bad.
by much.
I'm just saying I'm surprised based on your reaction to it how well regarded it is.
No, because I like slow films.
Well,
I like introspective films. For some reason, this movie just doesn't do either well.
It for me, it's like Ad Astra. It felt like a I'm 14 and this is deep kind of movie.
Yeah. It's like a guy who is just starting to become it's like the screenwriter was a man who is now a newborn father, or is a father to a newborn, and is looking back on his life, and he's like, I can make a movie out of this, even though I'm just basing off of Hearts of Darkness.
You know what was good? The Martian. That's a fun one. All that ABBA. You sure love that.
I need
ABBA
to see The
movie.
Martian.
That's a good.
I need to see Martian.
It's
Yeah,
a good one. It's a good one. My folks love that one.
So anything you've been watching lately?
Yeah,
or
sure.
reading
What media do you have to plug to our lovely audience?
consumed?
That I've consumed. Okay. I don't know. I just caught up on Succession. I love that show very much. It still remains one of my favorite shows on TV. I've been watching a lot of. I just watched a bunch of new Simpsons. I've always watched the new Simpsons, even though people tell me to stop. I just keep watching them, and I just started Mando again, and yeah, I mean, I'm gaming so much, and I just started that job, so I haven't had time to sit down and watch many movies lately. But I do have some movie passes. So Kolar told me that the new Evil Dead is fun, so I kind of want to see that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing.
What about you, hon?
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
I have two smaller ones.
Okay.
I saw Bo's Afraid with Ed. That was a trip.
Oh yeah, Kolar didn't like that one as much as you, so I have both opinions. He. Well, I know it's a movie that you don't want to get spoiled for, so he didn't tell me anything in detail about it, but he was sort of like he's a little bit picky about movies in general, and so he and I only like quality films like Sonic the Hedgehog 1, which we watched so many Neil Breen movies leading up to that we watched Cutthroat Island and then Sonic 1. Of course, we're gonna like Sonic 1.
Neil Breen. See, here's the thing. I think I like it for different because, like, I think I can say this. All our longtime listeners know we're friends with Armand from Syndicate. He did not like it. I was like, hey, I know you're gonna do an episode on this. Let me in on it. And he's like, no, I'm not doing an episode on that.
I'm not promoting that.
I'm not promoting that one. You kidding me? Like he had fun, but he didn't like it. Is what I think how he said it.
I kind of understand.
But I personally. Yeah, no, I completely get it. Especially someone who's seen the movie. I'm like, no, that makes complete sense. Personally, I'm like, was I entertained? Yes. Was it well made? Yes. 4 stars, I think, is what I gave.
All right, fine. Then 5 stars for Mario.
Yes.
Based on your own metric. I had a good time. I didn't pay for the ticket. It was great.
I mean, I also gave Renfield 4 out of 5 stars. So, like, my out of 5, my skewing is a little weird. I'll admit to it. Also, I watched. Ruthie got me to watch Point Break.
Oh, I've never seen that. I heard it's really good.
It's amazing. Nicola, right? Like, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think she plays Tyler.
No, the director.
Whoever.
Oh,
yeah, director's Catherine Bigelow. Yes. It was so good, especially for a movie made in 2011. She did such a... I'm joking. That's the remake.
Oh, remake's 2015.
Fuck. No. I saw the original. Or a perfect remake like
Super Mario Bros.
Mario from 1990s. No, the original's so much fun. Like, guys, just watch it. Just accept the ride. It's a ride.
It's a trip.
It knows exactly what it is, and it does it perfectly. I love that movie. That's mine. How about you, Ruthie?
I got a new game. Sure, both of you are friends with me on Steam, so you've probably watched me play it. It's called Graveyard Keeper, and I've heard it described as Stardew Valley for goth kids, and I'm not a goth kid. I just occasionally like dark stuff for some reason.
I'm a goth kid.
You are a goth kid.
I went to CMCR in concert. I'm a goth kid.
I don't think you'd like this one because, like I said, it's like a farming sim, but you're like managing a graveyard. And there's a lot of like surprise cannibalism in this game.
One of my favorite mangas, Tokyo Ghoul, so I'll be fine with the cannibalism.
You'll be fine with the cannibalism, but like you're managing a graveyard. Like, oh, I gotta feed the communist donkey, so he'll give me the bodies, so I can give the meat to the tavern keeper.
Did you say communist donkey?
Yes, the donkey can talk, and it is a communist. As soon as you get land, it shits on your front yard, and it's like, that is my gift to you, bourgeoisie pig.
Wow. Rude.
Yeah. You just sold me on the game.
It's so much fun.
You just sold me on the game.
Oh, and I saw Austin Powers recently. And
yeah, she made me watch it. She almost took away my movie. I almost took away her movie choosing privilege over that. I'm like, no.
It's a flawless film.
No, sure. I couldn't. Oh God, not you too.
He got to the part where they're reanimating Austin Powers, and he was peeing a lot, and he looked at me like, "What the fuck is this?"
Like, after the fourth time he started peeing again, I'm like,
you don't understand art like Austin Powers or Family Guy.
No, I understand Family Guy. I have TikTok. No,
Yeah, I grew up with Austin Powers. I watched that as
art.
No,
as
you're
a
fair.
child.
So here, you guys have probably seen, our listeners might have seen the tweet that she posted that got a lot of responses where it's like, Hector, no, you can't watch, no, like your movie watching privileges after Austin Powers, or childhood favorite, it was Austin Powers. Hector after watching
Point Break,
thumbs up,
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves from the movie.
and no, that wasn't how it really happened. He just like after the movie, he was like, I did not like that, and I was like, that's fair. It's kind of like you had to be there in the time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sure, ever the contrarian.
I just like the idea.
Never the bride.
Of like,
Never the fighter.
of like staking my claim in that movie. I think that's a funny thing.
Oh, do you want to say what you've been up to, Shore?
Yeah. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch at Shorester, twitch.tv/Shorester, where we're doing streams. Ruthie's a mod there. Hector will be there a lot. He and I are playing Overwatch. Ruthie and I are going to play some Stardew. I'm playing all sorts of games on there. It's a really fun thing we're building together, and it's been a really good time. Thank you guys for having me on this too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, thanks for
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
my pleasure.
Anything? Oh, we should probably plug our socials quickly.
Yes. You can find us on Instagram, Reshoot Podcast. You can find us on Twitter, at Reshoot Movie PO1. We are also on Mastodon. It's Reshoot Podcast. Nobody else on there quite like us. Do a dab.
She did a dab.
I'm bringing the dab back, baby.
It never left.
You can join us on Discord. There's links. I don't know if podcasts are supposed to use the doobly-doo like on YouTube, but depending on what podcast thing you're looking at, if you're looking at Spotify, you should be able to click that lovely link. Maybe Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
And we have stickers on Redbubble, but that might change soon. So look at the links for our shop. We have stickers.
Yeah,
They're fun. I make them.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can email us at reshootpodcast@gmail.com.
Or just shit on us on our Discord. We probably won't ban you. We're
Make fun of Ed. He begs.
He begs.
He really wants someone to make fun of him, guys.
He's hard when we do it because we know him personally. It's not as fun. The joy's not there.
What do you mean, guys? I'm right here.
jugular.
I can't believe it.
Wow, Ed!
Hector,
Ed, you do a really good Shore impression.
I don't even know it. Wow, it's so low energy. I fell asleep. I can't believe it. Perked up during the Smash part, but then he just conked me up.
What's really funny is just because he doesn't want to be too loud where he lives. So like he comes over to our place on occasion to record, and he is way too loud. He scares the cat. And thank you everyone for listening. Have a great day. You deserve it.
And maybe even a good night. That's a treat.
If you've been good, you'll have a good night.
It's a treat.
This goes out to Reshoot and all the Autobots in the galaxy. Reshoot, you're so cool. And with my guest spot, we're gonna rule. Please understand. Kidnapping Ed was all part of my plan. Oh, reshoot, 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 reshoot. I love you. Oh, reshoot, 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 reshoot. I love you. Oh, Mario, Luigi, and a Donkey Kong too. None of them want to be reshot by you. Oh, Princess Peach at the end of the line. I'll make sweet love to you all night. Oh my God, oh baby. Reshoot, 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 reshoot. I love you. Oh, reshoot. Oh, reshoot. No, baby. It's a podcast.
Killing it.